Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the QLS channel. We are here for round 2 of the Six Nations. Last round, we had some close games. We had some not so close games, but this one at Principality Stadium should be a very close one indeed. Wales coming off a loss up against Ireland. Scotland coming off a very close fought win up against England. So anything can happen in this game, but I hope you guys are all doing well. Hope you're all excited for this match. We have got Vishal in the chat, Darren, Peter, and also Katie is here, who has said, hey, howdy, hey, yo, how are you doing? Or hope you're all well. I always mess that up, don't I? Even though I've seen it so many times, I always end up not quite having it roll off the tongue the way that I would like it to. But hope you guys are all having a great day / night / whatever the time is where you are. Hope you are doing well. And currently, we are only sitting around 14 minutes away from this match getting underway, which is very exciting indeed. It is the first of 2 matches that we will have on tonight. The first one, it is this one between Wales and Scotland. The second one, it is going to be in France, and that will be France taking on Ireland. What should be a very exciting contest as well. Looking through at the starting lineups for Wales, we will start with Wyn Jones, Ryan Elias, and Thomas Francis. They are going to be the front row. Will Rowlands and then Adam Beard going to be slotting in. I know that he was a bit of a fan favourite when it came to the British and Irish Lions tour, the way that that man was going. Even though he didn't get a huge amount of time on the field, anytime he did get the chance, people were enjoying seeing him out there. Tane Basham, who has been exceptional in the last little while, with the way that he just carries the ball forward, just smacks himself into the line. Jack Morgan going to be slotting in at 7, a new name in there. And then Ross Moriarty, he will be slotting in at number 8. Thomas Williams as the 9, Dan Bigger at 10. He's going to need a lot of his experience for this game because we saw last week Ireland just able to shut down that back line of Wales, which is something that cannot afford to have happen up against the Scottish side because Scotland, they've got some very good attackers, which we will get to in a very short moment. Lewis Rees-Zammit starting out on the left wing. Nick Tompkins and Owen Watkin will be the midfield combo that they've decided to go with. Alex Cuthbert and then Liam Williams closing out the starting lineup. Low average to give you lads, says Katie Dixon there as well. Yes, for some reason, it's just the combo, isn't it? This doesn't quite work out at afternoon. All let's go, says Richard. And 2 games of the Six Nations back to back is going to be absolutely awesome. Novmum said good morning as well. So a few people up early here in New Zealand for this matchup. Currently sitting 3 a.m. Kind of feels like lunchtime though. For myself, I think my time zone is currently, I'm probably living off an American time zone or somewhere around there. Maybe Northern Hemisphere could be the best way of comparing it because I just don't seem to have the same one as I used to. But that is all right because we get to watch all these games of rugby that take place in the Northern Hemisphere. This is the Scottish lineup that they have decided to go with. Pierce Gorman, he is going to be starting at 1. So that is for Rory Sutherland, who has been replaced. Then Stuart McAnally starting at 2. And then it will be WP Nell at number 3, looking through now at the locks. Johnny Gray and Grant Gilchrist will be the linking up combo. Sam Skinner, Hamish Watson, and Matt Fagerson going to be the 6, 7, and 8. We have got there Let's Go Brandon and there from Peter Schmeichel. I did see your comment earlier on about Wales beat Scotland, which means Wales can beat England, which means Wales can beat New Zealand, which means Wales can beat South Africa, which means Wales are the best. I don't see any flaw in that logic, so we will go with that. And also Scotland and Ireland today for me, says Richard. So, I know that Scotland are the favourites for this game, although Ireland are the underdogs going into France. But that should be a good match because Ireland, they're in some very good form. Same with France, though, in the later stages of that game up against Italy. They were able to prove that they are quite the attacking threat when they do get going. Come on, Wales. Good afternoon. Kiwi lad, says Richie. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. I'm a neutral today, fam. And there says Katie Dixon. So, there's going to be some interesting times throughout this game because we have seen, I believe there's a little bit of rain on the forecast for Principality Stadium, if I'm not wrong. So hopefully that doesn't get too heavy because they do they have a roof at Principality Stadium? Yes, they do because I can see one there, but they don't normally have it closed for some reason. Hello, Hamish. I'm going with Scotland one today. And also, we've got quite a few of you up at this random hour of the morning, although for some of you guys, it's probably a normal hour, isn't it? And it's just me sitting up. And also Novmum at the random hour at 3 in the morning. And also I got some football on my Sky. Says Novmum, there will be, is it Man United that you're watching at the moment, Novmum? I know that they were having a little bit of success in that game, if I'm not wrong, 1-0 up the last time I checked. Ali Price, Finn Russell, that will be the 19 combo. Duan Funda Merva starting out on the left wing. Sione Tuipulotu and Chris Harris as the midfield. Darcy Graham and then Stuart Hogg to close out that starting lineup in the number 15 jersey. Dangerous man, and he will want to get himself at least one try in that one because at the end of the day, both of these sides, they actually both scored 1 try last week for the Six Nations. Scotland, it was enough to get them the win. Wales, it wasn't, but they're working on it. They're going to go better at the Principality Stadium and enjoy the game, Hamish. I'll be following on the net as well. It says Joss Pike, and also we have got there, they like to close the roof. Warren Gatlin used to demand it as well. And there says Richie, I guess it does make sense in a way. If it's raining and you want to play in dry conditions, there's no point having the roof open if you can close it. I think it's like a game of cricket being rained off in a stadium with a roof because, there's a rain delay. It's just, it's just a weird one. And also we've got the KDLU, and also now I see the rugby far out that crowd. And there says Nov Mum. I'm just going to have a quick look. I will pop it up on the screen now, what we got. It's going to be very loud in my eardrums. Geez, that's a good crowd at Principality Stadium. I'm excited. There's no roof at the moment, so if it's wet, it's wet, I guess is the way that they're going with. I'm in a very hyper mood at the moment. I think you guys can tell I shouldn't have had 2 cans of Fanta for this live stream. Now I'm buzzing and absolutely going off the walls. But Dewey Lake going to be coming off the bench. Gareth Thomas, Dylan Lewis, Seb Davis, Aaron Wainwright, Gareth Davis, and then Callum Sheedy, Jonathan Davies going to be in there. But a light rain there in Wales at the moment by the looks of it. Hopefully it does stay away throughout a majority of this match. 15 miles of wind, nothing too crazy, and 9 degrees is the weather temperature. George Turner, Rory Sutherland, Xander Fagerson, also Magnus Bradbury going to be coming off the bench. Rory Darge is a new name that we didn't see last week. Ben White, try scorer for Scotland, came off the bench when Ali Price went off for the HIA, scored himself that try, which is absolutely awesome for that youngster on debut. Blair Kinghorn off the bench as well, and Cameron Redpath going to be slotting in there as well. For anyone who is wondering, this is how the Six Nations standings are at the moment as well. And Hamish, how are you? I'm doing very well, thank you, mate. Very excited for this one, and also what's going on. Says Gareth, at this stage, we are sitting only around 7 minutes away from the kickoff of this game. Both of these sides, as you can see, Wales and also Scotland. Scotland getting the win last week, whereas Wales, they did not quite get their way over the winning line, but they will want to change that here. Their points differential sitting minus 22. They've got to ramp that up a little bit, as they were only able to score the 7 points. They actually averaged a lot more offloads than Scotland in that last game, though. 8 offloads in that game compared to the 3 that Scotland had. So if they can keep that ball moving all around the place at Principality Stadium, they're dangerous, the Welsh, and they should be able to have some good success here at the ground. Stuart Hogg there, the big man, going to be leading out his side by the looks of it. Yeah, what's got there in the chat? 2 cans of Fanta, heck yeah, it's a party in there, says Gary Nixon. Also doing well. I'm excited. So much rugby on. It's difficult to watch it all as I'm still floating on a cloud from a San Diego Legion winning. As says Katie Dixon in France, it's not as good as people say every France club Ireland players this year. France, Ireland won. And there says Richard, exactly right. Although the big thing is France at home for internationals. And also there's a couple of the French sides that really step up at home. But when you've got them at home in front of a big crowd, I feel like that's where, like if it was at Aviva, I would have said 100% Ireland win that game every day of the week. Whereas now that they're at France, I'm actually still back in the Irish. I'm saying I'm about 65-35 at the moment for my odds of who is going to be able to go on and get that win. But of course, we will have to wait and see. Speaking of waiting and seeing, this looks like it's a bit blurry through the tunnel for those players. They've put the smoke machine out and no one can see anything at this point in time. You wouldn't want to run out there and someone's just going past with a camera. You'd end up smacking them over. We have got Gilchrist for man of the match as well, says Gareth. And do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who do you think will score the first try of this match? And I'm talking the exact player, because I always end up saying who's going to score it. And I don't mean the team, I mean the exact person out there. And I am going to take a risk, but I'm also going to say that it's allowed because I am the boss in some regards. I'm going to say it's going to be a prop for either side who scores. So I've got 4 men covered. They're probably the heaviest 4 men out there on the park, but I think it's either going to be Wyn Jones, WP Now, Thomas Francis, or Pierre Schulman scores the first try. If I had to get even more specific, I'll go Pierre Schulman scores it. I'm going to regret that choice, I have a feeling, but for some reason, I just feel like it's a prop day to score a try. Tyg Furlong for France, he's going to be able to get one going against France, I should say. He doesn't play for France. Tyg Furlong, if he did, be very dangerous. That is for sure, and I agree about Ireland under 20s. Beat France last night in France, says Richard there. Oh, I also saw Italy under 20s beat England under 20s, which was absolutely huge for them. And it's going to be pretty awesome seeing what happens tomorrow for England versus Italy. We will actually be covering that on the channel as well. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to that channel. Currently, these two sides lining up. We're about to have the national anthems, and then we are going to be ready into the action. We have got there after a long time. You'll be live streaming. Yeah, I really miss you so much, your company and the commentary as well, says Michelle. And we have got plenty more coming, that is for sure. We were going to do the Super Rugby game earlier on today, but I did see it was actually on the Sky Sport Next channel. And they had a few, I wouldn't say technical difficulties. It just wasn't a hugely high quality production, sadly, but it was still a very good one to watch. And I will be watching all of those preseason games again before we get into Super Rugby, which we have got starting up next weekend. So we've got Super Rugby, we've got more of the URC, we've got the cricket game, and also have a wet. Is it, or how wet is it? Says Gareth. They said light rain, so it doesn't look too bad at the moment. Probably just a little bit of surface moisture, which means that you might slip inside a little bit, couple drips on the lens, but I don't believe it's supposed to get too heavy for this one. So hopefully that is the case and we don't get too much of it on the lens and also on the ball, because as soon as you get a slippery ball situation, that is when it's trouble. That looked like a big drop landing down on that big lock's head. Currently, we have got the Scottish national anthem coming off a win against England for them as well. They will be fired up for this one. Did you know Chris Harris is actually almost taller than Duan van der Merwe? I didn't realize that. I thought Duan van der Merwe was about, well, the way that he plays the game of rugby, you'd think he was 8 foot tall. As I hey, Katie's sister, how are you? They're from Michelle. But yeah, do let me know who's going to score the first try of this match and also score predictions we will go with. For myself, I'm going to say, I don't know. I feel like Wales should win because they're at the Principality, but then Scotland at the moment are playing very nice rugby. And also, it's more of the case of who's more used to the rainy conditions. I know that it rains a lot in Wales. It also rains a lot in Scotland. So both of these sides are probably used to it being not that nice weather at times. But these guys in the crowd, they are fired up for Scotland here. They want to see them go on and get themselves a big old win and keep their Six Nations alive, because at the end of the day, if you don't lose a game in the Six Nations, you're winning the competition. We saw Wales all but do that last year. They were actually able to get themselves almost the Grand Slam. And I was like, well, brother, I hope you are too, as well. Says Katie Dixon there. Oh, we got the Principality Stadium now singing the national anthem of Wales. And I feel like that is something that, like, it's just an awesome atmosphere. As our Scotland to win by 6 points, says Dave. I feel like that is probably, it's not a bad one. I think it's going to be a very close game between the two sides. And who won the NRL Rugby League All-Star match this morning? I fell asleep, says Richard. The last I saw of it, the Maori All-Stars were sitting 16-10 up. So I don't know whether or not they did keep that lead. Sebastian is probably a man who loves his rugby league, and we'll be able to help you out there. I've just seen a man who's dressed as the Scottish flag. I feel like that is something that I would do because I do love my flags when it comes to the rugby. And also Hogg scored first as Scots beat Welsh Leaks as well, says Gordon there in the chat. But currently we have also got Sebastian, and this is one where they're closing the bars at halftime. A goal. Let's see what happens as well. Says Katie, I feel like closing the bars at halftime is a good idea on paper, but that just means everyone's going to drink their drinks twice as quickly to get through as many as they would have had in the second half. So, like, you're just going to end up with everyone just sculling beverages, and then that probably has more chance of going wrong. But we're ready to go. What's up, Sham? And there is our says Colin, welcome into the Livestream I, and Scotland 25, Wales 7 as well. And also what's been Hampton fam says Aiden, it feels weird. I haven't actually been on a live stream this week overall, other than I think our last one was Italy versus France. It's been a little while, but we have got plenty more coming this weekend. And also, it was a little bit more of a casual week because I know how busy it's going to be with Super Rugby coming up just around the corner. Although we did see Moana Pacifica versus the Blues has been postponed, which is hopefully the last game that we see postponed, but it's probably not going to be. Yes, the Māori All-Stars beat the Indigenous All-Stars 16-10 as well. I see Sebastian there. It looked like it was a pretty good game. I did get to see about half of it. And then the other half, I was well and truly bouncing off the walls after having a can of Fanta, but more of the case of I was just editing. But less exciting than bouncing off the walls, I guess. But I had fun. And we got a couple of videos up today as well, which was very good news. Rose RDA, Uncle Gamble Bags. Uncle Gamble Bags. I don't know whether that's a good or bad nickname that you want to have. But overall, if I was a betting man, which I am not because you guys know my predictions are absolutely dreadful, I would be backing Pierre Schoeman to score the first try of this match. For some reason, I feel like the big man's just going over. I don't know why. It's just something. Darcy Graham first try, that is a better option than my one because it shouldn't be Pierre Schoeman. I don't know why I think it's going to be him, but for some reason, he's the name that's coming to my head. I think it's because it's fun to say Schoeman as well. And also, greetings, my vampire brother. I hope you're well, and can I offer you a glass of blood as well? And also, how's your week being, Namish? And yeah, Super Rugby starts next week. And yeah, it's been pretty good. Overall, we've actually had some rough weather here in New Zealand, which does mean that George has been able to come around. I think he's been around about 3 or 4 times this week, which is more than any other week we have had in the past. And definitely including the weekend as well. If we're counting that, he's probably been around 7 times in the last about 10 days, which is pretty awesome. And hopefully we can keep on having it happen in the near future. So Nick Berry going to be the referee in charge of this one. Well, I did put 1,000 on Scotland talking about gambling. 1,000. Careful now. You don't want to lose that money. And Dilwell Caddy could always do with a drink for sure. But now the kickoff is going to be underway. These two sides are ready to go. Wales versus Scotland, round 2 of the Six Nations, and it's taken straight away by it was Owen Watkin carrying that one. Currently just outside, or just inside of the 22, for Scotland. And also Ref Quick ruck today, so as well, says Richard. Although Nick Berry, I know that he's got mixed reviews down south. He was actually the referee who originally Rassie Erasmus made his video about, but he's got him better, I think. Ferguson, nice offload there. It goes straight into the hands of it was the number 2 for this one, Stuart McAnally. I'm going to have to relearn some of these Scottish names because some of the pronunciations I do often get wrong. And also, have you been, Sister Katie? And there from Aidan Finn Russell, good attacking run now. Chris Harris looking for the offload out to Sione Tuipulotu. Doesn't quite get it though. Now going back across field, Johnny Gray, the big man, getting a carry forward. Ali Price now fires it back to Finn Russell. Going to be a good attacking run. Now, last week, I believe it was Jamie Ritchie. This week, they have gone with Sam Skinner as that number 6 option. Stuart McAnally once again. I'm looking around for Pierre Schulman, see if he is lurking. He almost got the ball, but he didn't. Johnny Gray instead is going to be taking the contact 15 metres out at the moment. And a great start to the match here for Scotland. A little bit of a loose ball, but well cleaned up by Duan van der Merwe, who was well and truly nailed by it was in the end. Will Rowlands now running his way forward here once again. WP now. Apparently it's been all Scotland up to 10 phases now. Finn Russell looking for the ball on the inside, doesn't quite find us. And Thomas Francis trying to make that tackle once again. They are going forward here. They just aren't stopping. Grant Gilchrist now off to Ali Price. Ball on the inside. Darcy Graham, good attacking run, but Liam Williams straight on the ball. Does he turn it over? He does indeed. And Wales now have been able to avoid that early pressure that Scotland were creating. Thomas Williams fires it wide, and it looks like they're going for the counter-attack instead here. Josh Adams, no, it's not Josh Adams, and indeed, it is going to be Watkin. Now with a good attacking run, goes to bigger. Thomas Williams gets it. It's going to be a deliberate knockdown, I believe, from Stuart Hogg. And are they going to be giving it as a penalty, or is it just going to be the knock-on? But that was a fast-paced start to this match. That is for sure. Are you sharing your bourbon with your vampire friends? I'm so glad you and George are able to relax and have fun. I always so hard as says Katie Dixon. And then don't worry, just curious if you think Ireland will beat France. See, as soon as you take just curious, it always concerns me because I know that you're probably sitting there with your betting app open going, right, what's he going to say? I'm 65-35 in favour of the Irish to beat the French, but that is just me at this current time. It will probably change later on in the match because I normally change my mind about 7 times or so throughout a half of rugby. It's just not gone as well, says Richard. So, yeah, in the end, Stuart Hogg, I believe it was because he was rapping there for Thomas Williams. So that is why it is just going to be called. Oh, okay, he slightly reached out more, but I believe it will still just be a knock-on. Yeah, I think he was still in the tackling kind of motion. 7 Beers, Meat Computer Hamish says, welcome in to Livestream. I mean, I had 2 cans of Fanta earlier, which I feel like is not quite the same level, but it's well and truly woken me up. It's 3:19 a.m. and I feel like I've just woken up in the morning. Can't wait for the game in France. That match could easily be the World Cup final at the same venue as well. Exactly right. It's going to be an awesome one. And I hope it's a good game and a close one as well. Well, wish me luck, boys. Ireland are the underdogs, but I seriously don't understand why. And it is because France at home are just sometimes a different beast. They didn't start too well against Italy, but other than that, I mean, we saw what they did to the All Blacks last year, but we saw what Ireland did to the All Blacks as well. Both sides just tearing through us. Unfortunately, we were kind of the battering ram that just got bashed around by these two sides. We're playing very physical and girls. And this is Aiden also after a hard work week as well. Zestbox, so it sounds like you do deserve it for that one, mate. And, hopefully you are enjoying your job. Oh, you are going. I know that there are a few, that's the thing, New Zealand at the moment, I hope Super Rugby, the cameramen and everything like that, they still get to do all their jobs because games are being postponed flat out. And hopefully the players do get to play as well. It's gone down in the front row, and it's a penalty to the Welsh, 40 metres out. And I believe it was WP now who was just struggling a little bit with the bit of pressure being put on him by Wyn Jones. It was very good in the scrum, and they're still having a bit of a chat, those two. Maybe just talking about where they're going to eat afterwards rather than possibly having a bit of back and forth. And kick Wales, as I also, yes, okay, I'm one of the lads, remember as well, says Katie Dixon. I do remember when I accidentally said you heard the man in there for it, and can't spell Dixon without Dick. I guess that's a point. And also, how's your auntie as well? I really miss auntie. Please get my massage here. Give her, I assume that's message her after the rugby game, says Michelle. And yeah, I will be seeing her tomorrow morning or this morning because it is currently sitting middle of the night here in New Zealand. So I'll be sure to say that you say hi, but she's going to be with me for the South Africa versus New Zealand game that we are going to be doing for the cricket side of it that is coming up very soon. As well, Katie and Hamish, don't kill me, please, as I put 2K on Ireland earlier on. 2K, tell you what, we can do a lot with 2K. If you throw on your money away, we will be the bank for you. You know, make sure you hang on to it. Bigger gets it over. And it is going to be 3-0 now for the Welsh at Principality. We have got there the Stormers 25 to the Lions. 3 Gs. They're running away with that game. I know it was relatively close, wasn't it? It was 10-3 at halftime, but now I guess the Stormers just gone out on a tear. And that's right. The proof is in my name as well. And Scotland look bored. And there says Peter Schmeichel, I should say. That's the name of the football that's out on the full. From Finn Russell, just put in a little bit too much on it. That's the name of the goalkeeper, isn't it? For one of the old football sides, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, though. And I might just have the complete wrong way around there. But now currently from the halfway line, Scottish coach not looking too happy with that one. I put 5K on Scotland. Let's go. Wet Willie back as well. Welcome back, Wet Willie. At least you and Aidan both have your money on the same side this time. I feel like I'm a lot happier with that as well. Because last time it was like one of you had about $500 on one side and the other side, you had about 300 or whatever it was. So it was a nice balancing act. I want to bet $2 on France versus Ireland. Too unpredictable. Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Scotland so far, we've actually had 64% of the possession in this one. You know, and it was Man United as well. And there says Colm. See, I feel like that's the thing. I'd like to do the Football World Cup when it does come around. And Aidan Goodman as well says Wet Willie there. But yeah, I know that the Football World Cup, it's later on in the year, isn't it? And I don't know who I'd do it with. I want to get someone involved kind of like sitting next to me as well. But the games are on in the middle of the night. Big fend from Dan Bigger, just shunting off Ali Price. That's one thing you don't see too often from the fly half from Wales is a big old fend. And that is exactly what he's done so far. Williams now firing it back to Wyn Jones. I did say that I thought a prop would be able to score first. I probably was just lying. The stage Amos Watson almost getting that one, not quite able to get it. I just realized I had mispronounced my own name. Just a bit of a worry. Thomas Williams now going to the short side. Pearson around the gap. And Beard, ball on the outside. Quick hands. Bouncing up now nicely. It's going to be the youngster, Jack Morgan. Now going back on the inside. Thomas Williams will rail him with a good attacking run. Currently, Wales just holding on to position very nicely. Dan Bigger inside ball to Lewis Rees-Zammit, who gets his first carry of the match. And they are going back for the penalty. And also we have got there, and as put another 1K on the Sharks too. Okay, so you settle down for that one. And also I went for the Bulls, bruv, as well. 350. And also France will win embarrass. And also we have got their kick Wales. Says that Richard, it is indeed. They are going to be going for the 3 points here by the looks of it. Dan Bigger, they'll take an early 6-point lead every day of the week. And also, but I'll put 2K on Ireland if I had it, as says Katie Dixon. I know that at the moment in New Zealand, I think they're paying about $2.60 to win. So it would be a big one. But yeah, I can't speak. But also, I would say with Sebastian's comment, I wouldn't even put $2 on it to risk it because it's too unpredictable. I agree with that one. That's the thing. I've never been much of a gambler myself. I can understand why people do it because some people are very good at predictions. I am not, which is why I normally try and avoid it a little bit in terms of myself. I did have like 20 cents in my account one time and then I lost it. So then just taught me a lesson. I guess anybody who bets 2K on Ireland today is a fool. France at home win that game, says Jack Lewis. There's our good start by Wales, but Scotland to win for me, says Jack. Yeah, I think at this stage, possession's actually gone back in favour of Wales. They will be 6-0 up now at this stage. And also we've got their Scotland already making me nervous, says Wet Willie there. And also we have got their Bigger killing it as well. And there says Peter Schmeichel. Yeah, he's doing very nicely so far, Dan Bigger. Not just getting us 2 kicks over, but also that massive fend. And I'm a Scottish supporter, but Wales at the Principality is probably the most difficult away game, says Gareth. Yeah, it's one of those ones you don't want to draw it for your season, because as soon as you do, you know you're going to be up for a tough game. In fact, I've got the draw here. Who else has Wales when they're at home? That's England. Right, that's not the one we want. We want this one. Here we go. Who else has them? France have actually got them at home as well. That will be an interesting game. See how it does end up going in 36 days' time. March the 12th is when that one will be taking place. We will be covering it on the channel also. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thomas Williams going to be putting up the box kick now. Still yet to see the first try of this match, but it might not be too far away. Stuart Hogg passes across a little bit low to Matt Fagerson. Was now trying to break his way through. Great low tackle, though. I think that was Dan Bigger again. He's been everywhere throughout the early stages of this match, and he's having a flyer at this point in time. Almost a turnover for Wales. Not quite able to get it, though. Ali Price goes back to Finn Russell, I should say. Stuart Hogg now running forward. We got Achilles in the chat. It said Scotland is playing like England does, giving away silly penalties early on in the match. As well, says Achilles. And also, I'll be laughing when the Irish whips Francis in Paris. I just realized I said to myself, for that word, that's going to be a nice wide pass out to Duan Funamurva, using a bit of his extra pace, and now moving up into the 22, rolling his way forward. Ali Price goes back once again. Finn Russell, wide cutout pass. It's gone through the hands of Scotland. Just not what they would have been wanting. Sione Tuipulotu cleans it up, though. Does play for one of the URC teams in Scotland. I can't remember what one it was. I think it's Edinburgh, but I could be wrong there. In fact, it might actually be the Cardiff Blues going off on the inside. That's a Welsh team, so that wouldn't be them. And Ali Price now around the side once again. And the ball up, almost stolen by young Jack Morgan. Pierre Schurman now trying to drive his way forward. Almost Dane Basham. No, not quite able to get it. Once again, though, every time the ball goes to ground, it seems like Wales are very keen on being able to turn that one over straight away. Thomas in through the side almost. For that one, now driving his way forward. Stuart McAnally still carrying forward here for the Scottish short ball to Sione Tuipulotu. Another tackle made by Dan Bigger. That's going to be about 5 tackles made by the fly half just by himself. Pierre Schurman now driving his way forward, getting his knees taken out from underneath him. They are getting closer and closer. Is he still up and about? He is indeed, Pierre Schurman. I said he would be the first try scorer. If he is, I will win a sandwich for myself. We've got bread. I'll make a sandwich at some stage. Hamish Watson round the side now. Continuing this onslaught. 17 phases in at the moment. Pierre Schurman still on his feet, passes the ball back. It's just the South African bulldozer. Plays for Scotland. Nice set play here. Wide cutout pass out to Darcy Graham. Puts the ball down. And it's a thumbs up, and Darcy Graham scores a try for Scotland. And he has been able to do just what he did almost last week, but this time he's been able to get, what's the new name for the Principalities? He's gone, I know it's not the Principality. I know it's a very tough name to say, and I feel like anytime I try and pronounce it, it will just ruin my tongue. Unfortunately, there's no way Wales is missing 8 players at home are better than England at Twickenham or France at Paris or Ireland at the Viva as well. And then also we've got there, every time asking for Auntie, you should think why. I always ask one question every time. As else to show, I guess it is a good question, but overall, I think it's just because we spent so much time on the live stream with her. So I guess you guys were a fan of my mum, which is a good sign. I think he scored that one, Darcy Graham. He did indeed. Just making sure it did go down. I have a $500 bet for France versus Ireland under 46.5 as well. And also IPL mega auction going live. Trent Bolt and Lockie Ferguson are the Kiwis sold so far. So hopefully they can get a few more Kiwis in there. Isn't it the Millennium Stadium as well? Is it just the Millennium Stadium? I know it's got a Welsh name as well, if I'm not wrong. And also Super Rugby as well, who's landed up winning the Australian warm-up games. So it was actually the Waratahs beating the Reds in their game today. That score from Scotland was 11-11. The game Yale Scotland is going to win. The Oracle Bones has spoken in there from Katie Dixon, but now lining it up, it will be Finn Russell does try and get this one. We will go like this, and we will add Darcy Graham. It's just gone away to the side for Finn Russell. So it will remain unconverted. And after 10 minutes or 12 minutes in this game, in fact, it is going to be 6 points to Wales and 3 to Scotland as well. Injuries are not an excuse anymore. The box played without Peter Steph-Dedoy, Colby, RG Snyman, Fata Clerk as well, and the wee man too strong, or the wee man is strong. Peter Michael. Yeah, he did very well. And was it the game up against Japan? Probably not. Who was it up against that he scored 2 tries in the end? And also, I think it was the midfielder who's coming off the bench for this game and was able to get himself a few. Kyle Stain, I think it was. And also, Hamish, why you don't do stream every day? Be consistent, please. I miss your commentary. And this is it's pretty much because there isn't BBL every day now. So we haven't got that option of being able to do it. But I know that this weekend we are going to have the test match for New Zealand versus South Africa. So that will be every day. And then also Super Rugby will be each weekend that we have got coming up. But yeah, we can only do live streams each day if there is stuff on that we normally live stream type thing. Straight through the middle, illegally for that big man, Ross Moriarty. So because of it now, it does mean that the penalty going back. Pierce Gorman now trying to get the link up. It will be going back for the original knock on, though. Lewis Rees-Zammit would have been gone there. Come on, boys. And also, as long as Wales can get quick ball from the breakdown, they can win as well. It's not, if not, it's Scotland's game. Not looking likely without Navidi, Alwyn Jones, Tuparik, Ken Owens, and Faletau. As well, says Young. Oh, that's a question. I don't know whether or not you will know the answer to it, but how far away is Ken Owens from coming back from injury? Young, do let me know, because I haven't actually seen anything about him for quite a while. That hasn't found touch from Scotland. So now on the 22, Dan Bigger going to be able to return fire with a big kick down to the 22 now as Scotland. Finn Russell looking like he's going to be attacking with the way that he runs it back. Not going for the 50-22. Instead, just going to be trying to find a bit of territory. Going back for the penalty now. Oh, 7 red. So Jack Morgan, the man who's on debut for this game now, it gives Scotland a free penalty out in front, and who has shown the cricket as well, says Novmum. Yeah, I believe that game will be a Spark Sport one since it is a New Zealand ground. So I believe Spark Sport will have it for it. And also, Hamish, this game could be a tight one. I think it is going to be probably only split by about 5 points or so. And if you're a team who doesn't play well when all your strong players are injured, then yeah, it is an excuse as well in there from Katie. And also we have got their kick to touch. Scotland missed, says Richard. They didn't know Wales offside kick. Scotland, says Richard is on Katie. He's Eastblock. Hopefully my voice doesn't disappear. It sounded like it was trying to just before. Hopefully it will be sticking around for the rest of this match. We've also got the match afterwards, Ireland versus France. That is a big game as well. I just love the Six Nations because we've got so many awesome matchups that we're going to get to see. Winner got the first try right. You did indeed. It was not Pierce Gorman who scored the try like I thought possibly. I feel like he's getting a try throughout the match. Is that too optimistic for the big Scottish prop? Probably a little bit, but Finn Russell straight down the middle there. And now the score is going to be 8 points to 6 in favour of Scotland away from home. These are the fixtures that we are going to get to see, not next week, but the week after. We've actually got a week off from it at Murrayfield. It will be Scotland taking France to the limit, perhaps. England versus Wales, and then Ireland versus Italy going to be taking place on the Monday. So all the games are at the same time every single week. The 3:15 a.m. here for the Sunday game, and then followed straight away by a game at 5:45. Then the 4 a.m. game taking place on the Monday morning for us here as well. And also we've got there, when does the test start, Amish, and what happened with the White Ferns today or yesterday. So they did end up winning for the White Ferns up against the India women's side. And then the test match is starting on the Thursday, I believe, as the first day. So we're hoping to do an overlap of doing not just the test match, but also Super Rugby as well, and balancing the two, because all the games for Super Rugby other than on the Sunday are a little bit earlier or a little bit later in the day, I should say. Flat ball there, straight into the hands of, I believe it would have been Nick Tompkins driving his way for Thomas Williams, 40 metres out now for Wales. And I see that Josh Adams isn't there this week. Is that due to injury or due to his challenge on Johnny Sexton last week? Do let me know, ladies and gentlemen. But now driving his way for, once again, Tane Basham, living up to that last name. Every time I see him, he's just running it straight at the line. Thomas Francis trying to spin out of the tackle. Pierce Gorman straight on the ball. And he does end up winning the penalty for Scotland. And also, of those 7 players missing, who would really start as well. And there says Gareth, and also, will New Zealand versus South Africa Test Series be live streamed on Amazon Prime video subscription in India? I saw that they have tied with New Zealand Cricket Board to live stream New Zealand series as well. Oh, it's a good question. I only really know Spark Sports, since it is the one over here that we have got access to the game. But I would say, hopefully they do have it on there. Wales are so as poor as last week, says Richard there. And also, I almost spilled my beer. Thanks for the heart. As says Gary Dixon, says he's spoken. Also, Alwyn Jones, Lee Halfpenny, Ken Owens, as Own Crusaders lost both their preseason games. I did see that last minute thriller up against the Hurricanes that they did have. And what's the crowd like in Wales? Are there a ton of fans there? And is the roof open or closed? It's an open roof, and I've just realised, with you saying that, I think I've worked out why the roof is open. I think it's actually a rule, isn't it? If you've got a certain amount of people, you have to have an open roof. Whereas if the stadium was closed, they are allowed less people in attendance. I could be very wrong with that statement, but I believe I remember hearing that for one of the other times. So I believe even though there's light rain falling, that is why they have decided to leave it open so they can have more attendance. Stuart McAnally breaking off the back here for the Scottish. And they have got themselves another advantage here. Scotland just trying to throw themselves at the line a couple more times. Finn Russell looking for the cross kick. It's charged down, but they will go back for the penalty. Ross Moriarty just giving Finn Russell a bit of a hug while he was at under 20s for Italy beat England under 20. Could be something for note or of note for the future. Yeah, I did see that result. So hopefully we do get to see an inspired performance from Italy tomorrow as well. And Reds or Rebels who got winning and scoring a try. Hamish says Aiden scoring a try. I'm not too sure who they've got in their teams because the Reds at the moment, I believe they've got McDermott out. Who else have they got out? They've got about 10 players out due to positive cases, which is a little bit concerning just before the start of the season. Of course, we already know Moana Pacifica's game up against the Blues has been postponed, and Wales have had more caps than Ireland last week as well. Wales aren't weak. Ireland are just that good right now as well. Pivak, can learn ruck play with Wales are serious contenders. And so, Hamish, is this the same tournament in which you were doing commentary some days ago, or is this a new Rugby 7 tournament as well? So this one that we are covering at the moment, it is the Six Nations. So we're into round 2, which is the same competition as we did last week with the 6 international teams of Scotland, Wales, Ireland, France, Italy, and England. They are the 6 teams that you will be hearing me talk all about throughout this one. We've got Super Rugby starting up next week, and then also after that, we are going to be doing the 7s that is coming around for Singapore in the near future. And who you got? The Rebels. So you got the Rebels winning them. Although I don't know who the Rebels have got either. I haven't actually seen any of the lineups for those games. When is that game taking place, Aiden? Is that next week or is it relatively soon? That looked like a big hit there on Scotland, currently sitting just outside of the 22. Matt Fagerson was the man running back. And also we have got their 80,000 sad daffodils at the moment. And then full it's up to the away team if roof open or closed. And there says Richard, okay. Where was it that they were saying about the fact that if the stadium roof is open, it means that you can't have as many in attendance? I know, that was a big one, but Finn Russell, I would have taken it nicely. Sorry, that wasn't very descriptive commentary, was it? Me just going and making a whole heap of noises. I'll fire back to Stuart Hogg, who was in the pocket, ready to go for the kick. This looks like a 50-22 opportunity. No, Dan Bigger back to cover. Now inside of his own 22, we'll be looking for a big clearing kick. It's close. It's a brilliant kick from Dan Bigger. Almost a juggle from Finn Russell. Takes the quick throw to Hogg. And he is once again kicking it in behind. Not looking for the 50-22 that time. Just looking to skid the ball on to the 22. Liam Williams gets it now. Puts the ball high. Normally very good under the high ball, but leaving it for his number 14 to be able to take it. And Alex Cuthbert have done just that on the halfway line. Williams now looking away to the left-hand side. Ryan Elias going for once again. Rebels versus Red is on Saturday as well. Next week, Saturday. So it's actually a little way away. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see the lineups, I think, before I do end up picking that one. It's going to be a beautiful ball to Ryan Elias. And currently they've got the advantage for the original knock-on. Thomas Williams goes back to Dan Bigger. Sells the dummy. Goes on the outside now to it will be Watkin who's dropped the ball. It did go backwards though, or did it? No, they're going back for the original penalty that they did have. Blew down, I believe, one of the players just lost his footing. Was it Pierre Gorman was penalised there? But it looks like the rain has gotten a little bit heavier in just the past couple moments. As what about situation of COVID in New Zealand? I think COVID is going from all over the world, and soon we can travel all over the world. Says Coney. See, we've been ramping up in cases for us because I think we've actually had a couple record days for New Zealand, if I'm not wrong. So I don't know whether or not we do get to see all of the Super Rugby games take place at this stage. Has anyone noticed if Lewis Rees-Zammit is limping today? Have they mummified his boot again? Right, where is he? I'm going to scan the field, try and find that man, and try and find that man's foot, which is a completely normal statement in this situation. Where is he? Was it left or right boot, Katie? Do let me know. And I just saw he's favouring the other foot, Big Oof. And I guess when you run that quickly, surely you're going to have a couple ankle problems every once in a while. And Stormers 32 to 3 against the Lions at 74 minutes into that game, says Spock. And also 1 game on Friday, 3 games on Saturday, 1 game on Sunday. As I said, yeah, we're going to have to make that decision of Test match or the Super Rugby on Sunday. We will be doing the Super Rugby on Sunday, though. Well, that one, that will be a nice, easy choice for ourselves. Stuart McInally has gone down. Oh, no, he's back up. He's all good. He just popped back up like he was a spring and now going back into the hands of, once again, Watkin. He's had a lot of carries so far for Wales, but they're in a good attacking position on the field now, looking for the backline movement. It's going to be Cuthbert, who looks like he's had a fight with some sort of pig, maybe, because he's completely covered in mud at this point in time, but it looks like it's pretty slippery out there at the Principality Stadium at this point in time. Currently going to ground once again, Tane Basham. Thomas Williams goes off to Dan Bigger, forward pass into the hands of Watkin in the number 13 jersey. They have allowed it, though, and they will keep on going. Now Liam Williams stepping through 15 metres out now for Wales, and they continue to put phase after phase. Dan Bigger goes back to Ryan Elias. Good defence there from Pierre Schulman, but a good lead drive assisted by Basham to move himself towards the 20 or so metres out now once again with a good run for Cuthbert. Ball bounces out the back. Thomas Williams, a lot of pressure on him. Ross Moriarty now takes the carry. And they are just phase after phase here for Wales. Ryan Elias. We've seen some very good phase play. For wet conditions, it's another advantage here for Wales. Now going back off Bigger. Oh, it's the juggle, and he's been put down hard there for Watkin. His ribcage is rattled. They're going back for the penalty. Quick tap taken by Dan Bigger. Wasn't on the mark, though. Tell you what, he's looking like he's got an extra spring in his step at the moment. Dan Bigger. Ross Moriarty decided he better go in and push every single person around that region. As all those who can see the game, pay attention to Wales' attack as well. They do not commit players to secure their own ruck. So Ferguson and Watson are going to give them L and blunt their attack as well. And Katie, your big sporting day is tomorrow, Super Bowl day, and he's favouring their big other foot. And also Dan Bigger has been manhandled. And there says Katie Dixon also, but thank you for your kind sentiment, as you're very sweet. And there for Richard's one as well. And also we have got there, I don't follow American football as well. It drives me insane how slow it is. And that was a big hit there. I believe it was Watkin who got his rib cage. Right. Picked up by Darcy Graham. One leg was above the horizontal, but it's whether or not they decide that it was enough of a tilt to get him into trouble. I know that it's actually a big sporting day around the world tomorrow. We've actually got Israel Adesanya will be taking on Robert Whittaker for the UFC. I don't know whether or not I will be awake at that point in time. I'll probably still be sleeping. Is an American football a great excuse to braai and drink almost like Test cricket as well? Says Gareth, and the Highlanders are coming back. What a match. And there says Gianpaolo. Yeah, at the moment, it's going to be a very close game between these two sides. Dan Bigger says, we'll take the 3. Thank you very much. Straight out in front. Darcy Graham just tried to start a fight with a 60-year-old man. I think they just ended up trying to run onto the same bit of grass, though. Do the hits go higher than the shoulders? Okay. So they are saying that is all right for that one. I can't wait for the Super Bowl to happen and not give up about it again, says Sebastian. And also we have got there 32-10 for the Lions up against the Stormers in the 78th minute. Nice. It's gone over from Dan Bigger. And because of it now, it does make the score 9 points to 11. Didn't quite do the maths right there for myself for half a second. And I have never seen a more humble YouTuber and person like you, which reads and takes every comment, harsh and good. All that's why I'm addicted to your live streams, as RCS coding. I always find, that's the thing, the people who don't read out all the comments, I always get confused because it's like people have gone through the effort. Like, typing's hard. Like, to be honest, like, I know that sounds like a joke, but like, without spell check, my typing is terrible as well. So I'm glad they invented that. But like, you've gone to the effort of writing the comments. So I feel like it's only right that I go through the effort of reading it as well, because like, it's not difficult to read it out, even though I do make it look difficult at times. Like, I do appreciate every single one of you for being here, like, no matter what time of the day, no matter what live stream we're doing, which is why, you know, I always like to give you a little shout out as well. And to get the chance, good flat ball to Sione Tuipoloto. I'm still trying to remember what team he plays for. I know it's a team that wears blue, but I don't think it's the Cardiff Blues. Oh, that was a big fly kick there from Dan Bigger, but not quite getting onto. And Katie, what phone was it as well? And then also, I agree, Katie, but it reminds me of a rugby men and pads as well, says Richard. Currently now driving their way forward for Scotland. Dan Bigger. No, it's actually Finn Russell. Sorry, who has kicked that one into touch. And that was advantage over. So it will be now the line out. As I wish I could derive the same pleasure of watching as you do, brother Azalo. It seems to me they are just trying to collide with each other at as high a speed as possible. That's the only Tui Pilotu. Who does he play for? Glasgow, they've just said it. Thank you, whoever that was on the commentary. He's just saved me from thinking about it for the next 60 minutes as well. So who will win? South Africa versus New Zealand cricket. I think it's going to be a good game. Like South Africa, they're away from home, but they did very nicely against India, so I'm certainly not underestimating them for that one. And also, Hamish, who do you think will win the Waratahs versus Fijian draw? I think it will be an incredibly close game. Says Aiden, yeah, it's going to be a good one. That matchup. The Fijian draw, they've got some very good players scattered throughout there. I know that my pronunciation of some of the Fijian names is going to be very difficult to be able to pronounce. And you found my old phone as well. And also now it's been bugging me the whole week. There's Gareth. But once again, now another penalty against Wales. They've already conceded 5 in the early stages of this game. Scotland, they have actually conceded 4. So quite a few penalties being blown by Nick Berry in the early stages of the Six Nations round 2 fixture. We're already into round 2. It's going to be over before we know it. So we've got to make the most of it. Every single live stream, we will be here. We will be talking all about the games. The Wolves have just pulled off a massive comeback against Leeds in the Super League. Get in, hashtag the wire as well. So the Wolves up against Leeds in the Super League. That is the UK League, isn't it? Sebastian, if I'm not wrong, I wonder whether or not they show those over the year. Like any type of game highlights or anything like that would be pretty cool to see. And also me too, keep thinking about me cute little Final Fantasy Moggle wallpaper and that tiny stylus that could jab your eyeballs out as well, says Katie. That one has gone over. Now the score 14 points to Scotland, 9 to Wales here. And the URC, the Stormers, 32 to 10 as the full-time score, says this block. And also, come on, Scotland. Come on, Shuller. You have to win. And there says Danny Quinn. And currently 5 points in favour of the Scottish. Can they get the job done here? I've got to start watching leagues. I keep watching all the Wigan fights for fun as well. And there. See, that's the thing. I want to do more of the NRL, and I think it would be on the Kiwi Lads Sport channel just because copyright. Like, I know that the NRL are relatively harsh with the copyright at first, like in the early stages of the season. So we probably do it on that one as well. Currently, Liam Williams finding the return kick. There's a player down at the moment. Who is that? That's a 50-22. Very good kick there for Liam Williams. He gets a smile on his face as well. I don't think he struck it the way that he wanted to, and the bounce was just very favourable for number 15. I believe the man down is Matt Fagerson, if I'm not wrong here. So hopefully he's going to be all right. The right heel, or maybe right Achilles type region. But he just struck that one, and it just bounces about that much. And from the touchline, Australia win first T20, a comfortable second T20 tomorrow. Hamish says, Kevin, I do see that they did do very nicely up against Sri Lanka. I was going to be doing the commentary for those ones originally, but I think I got a bit of stage fright because last time we did a Sri Lankan game of cricket, we got a copyright strike from a YouTube channel who covers Sri Lankan games. So I really didn't want to risk that again. So I think that is why, unfortunately, we will have to probably miss that one. Both teams look poor, as says Peter Schmeichel, although it is also starting to pour down from the sky with the water, also known as rain. So I think that might be something that does end up playing factor in this game as well. And yes, the English Super League, I just want someone else to win the competition, ideally the Wolves, but we don't want St. Helens to win it for the 4th time in a row. And also, I'm going to put you on the spot. Who's going to win tomorrow? Izzy or Whitaker? Says Aiden, how much money is sitting in your account? Because if it is 0, then I will tell you. If it's not 0, I will not tell you. Who I think will be winning that one. And when I found out that Andy Farrell, as Owen Farrell said, I had to go and sit in the dark room by myself for a while. And there says Katie Dixon, I know that George is a big advocate of the fact that, like, because he's Irish, or he was Ireland's defence coach, wasn't he, Andy Farrell, which is why George can't understand the tackling style of Owen Farrell, because if your dad's the defence coach, you think that tackling would be step 1. Well, that one. Currently injured, unfortunately, Owen Farrell, and also over there, it's both been slide down and having a stylus. That confuses me as well, says Gareth. Now out the back line, looking good. Liam Williams got attacking run there. Dragged down by Tuan Whanamurva. Thomas Williams going to the short side on the right hand. Dan Bigger tries to spin out of the tackle. He's made a lot of meters so far, Dan Bigger. Currently only 5 out. Looking to the short side instead, decides that going back across to the big forwards would be the way to go. Now he decides short side. Going to be the step from Cuthbert. Oh, Dan Bigger staying down. Think he's got some sort of injury. Is he all right? He's limping around a little bit, Dan Bigger. Hopefully he is going to be okay because he has been having a very good game so far. Thomas Williams having to clean up that loose ball. Lined up by Pierre Schulman, who just drives them back about 5 meters for his troubles. The wee halfback. Now going back across. Currently up to 8 phases. We've actually had some very good phase play from both sides in this match. Like, that's the thing. It's raining. It's slippery. You wouldn't think it. The way that these two sides are going, they just keep on attacking hard. Dan Bigger once again with the draw and pass. Straight into the hands of Owen Watkin at 13. He's also had quite a few carries. Tane Basham, another carry forward. This is working very nicely for Wales, but it's good defence. They've got themselves another advantage here. Morning all says David Lamore. Welcome in to Livestream I. Hope you are doing well. Quick hands out to Liam Williams. Throws it back on the inside. They're going back for the advantage and the penalty. I'm not betting on it. I'm going to enjoy my beer and some pizza and enjoy it as well. I do like pizza. I would say, okay. If I was to pick, I think, Israel Adesanya, I think is going to be able to take it in about the 4th round, somewhere around there. I think he's going to slowly wear him down, but it's also going to be possibly Whittaker who wins the first couple rounds, as well as my prediction of will Owen be back for summer tours. Does anyone know? And there says Richard, it's a good question. Not too sure though, unfortunately. Sorry. That's the thing. My injury knowledge is not as good as it should be in terms of how long people are out for. Kind of in the... Okay, they were asking for the water off. I was confused at what Nick Berry was yelling about there for a second, which made me completely stop my chain of thought. And also, hello, David. And also, we have got the Hamish Pro Betfred Challenge Cup. Round 3 also progress time. Rochdale, Hornet, and second team. I'm forgetting that name team. They play each other at the same time, says Michelle. And also, maybe it wasn't a slide down. I confused it with one of my old phones as well. They've actually kicked it for the corner there, Wales. So that was an easy 3. But they went, you know what? Let's see how it goes. And also, we have got the rugby league is nowhere near where it should be very much a minority sport. I mean, it depends on the region, I guess, around the world as well. The Rugby League World Cup coming up. That's going to be another advantage here for Wales with the rolling ball. It's gone down over the line, and Ryan Elias, he has scored the try, or has he? I think that's big Thomas Francis. I think that was Thomas Francis who just scored that try. He is. Thomas Francis scores it. I said it was a day to score a try for a prop. I thought it was going to be Pierre Schulman. It wasn't Pierre Schulman, but it was instead Thomas Francis who does get it down. Originally, I thought it was Ryan Elias from the rolling ball, but he actually ended up going down a lot earlier because they did shut this one down extremely quickly, Scotland. But then from there, the driving rolling ball of the Welsh just kept on creeping forward. Then Thomas, big man Francis, goes off the side and does end up scoring the try. Go Scotland, says Clinton there. And also we've got the Hamish Pro. I'm texting the chat box at the same time. I saw your ad and 5 minutes advertisement show started now as well, says Michelle. So thank you very much, mate, for watching that one. And also we have got the Bam Bam Tuivasa. It's fighting tomorrow against Derek Lewis. That's going to be a good fight as well. That's the thing. I really want to watch them because it will be at a random hour in terms of I probably wouldn't have slept up till that point. Unless I go to sleep right after this live stream, then maybe I get the chance of being able to watch it at a normal hour. But yeah, don't know. I might end up having to watch the highlights of it. Dan Bigger, just a little bit out to the side, and we remain at 14-14 after 33 minutes in this game. But it was Thomas Francis who does end up scoring the try. So 1 try apiece for these two sides. And also now I feel old. I just looked up Andy Farrell, and he is a little bit older than me. He was like 16 when he was like 16 when Andy was born as well. Says Knob Mum. So I assume that's Owen Farrell we are talking about there. And also, yeah, Andy was a teen dad, bless him. And there, as I says, Katie Dixon, I am going to have some drink of water. That wasn't a sentence. Now running sideways. Owen Watkin lined up by Pierre Schulman. Did shut him down pretty quickly. It was a very loud drink. I didn't mean to do that. That's the thing. When you got a teeth gap like me for the front, like you end up kind of having some air make its way into your beverages every once in a while. Yeah, Owen is on there. Currently now going forward. Does he have any other children who play rugby? Or is it just Owen who does play a little bit of the sports? The only Tuipolotu now stepping nicely. The man who plays for, I've already forgotten who he plays for. Who's he play for? They said it earlier, and I was all happy because I could now remember it. And now I've forgotten who he plays for once again. If anyone can find any old vintage Andy Farrell Rugby League poster jersey, email me because I want it as well. And then I sense a fair bit of tension between Owen and Andy. And there says the big H show. Currently, Ali Price goes back across Finn Russell. Now on the outside, good attacking run from Hamish Watson, who actually, I believe this is a stat that I want to say is still correct. He hasn't missed a tackle in the Six Nations in this year or last year. He's made about 170 or 140 tackles without missing one. I believe it's something along those lines. I mean, the odds are not worth on betting on Izzy anyway, just saying as well. Says Aiden there and same. And then now Scotland once again going to be driving forward up to 10 phases. Once again, this is something we've seen so many times throughout this match, but the ball retention is just being turned over. No, little knock on by Wales. And Ryan Elias just not quite able to hold on to that one. Does Super Rugby start next week or was delayed because of COVID? So it is still starting next week, but Moana Pacifica versus the Blues is going to be postponed till maybe the week after or maybe the week after that, somewhere around that middle stage. But other than that, it's all going ahead. He's paying $1.10 over here in Australia. That doesn't seem like a lot for himself. Like Robert Whittaker, that's the thing. He's got a hard enough right hand that if he strikes you on the chin, you're probably going to end up dropping. But it's whether or not Izzy can use that kind of weird, elusive kind of reach and length that he's got to be able to avoid all of them as well. They were talking about a COVID scare, but I think it's been remedied. Tell you what, some words just don't roll off my tongue, do they? And I was like, Hamish Pro halftime came at nearly this game. Both teams happy with the score. At halftime, no problem as well. And I'll be back before end of Ireland game. Going to the pub up Ireland, says Rich. So good luck with the pub, mate. Hopefully it is going to be a good one. I see full-time Racing 92 only getting a 6-point win over Powell, which was supposed to be a way more one-sided affair, 35 points to 29 in that game. And I think that's going to be a similar scoreline to what we see in not just this game, but also Ireland versus France that is taking place a little bit later on tonight in that regard as well. But we will be covering that one on the channel, and we will be starting our live stream in an hour and a half's time. And we will be doing 15 minutes of build-up. Then we're straight into the match. And it should be a very, very entertaining one between those two sides. Top of the table clash. And the other only takes one punch can change everything. I mean, I would much rather put money on a rugby game than a fight as well. Says Aiden also, we're going to have a good time, brother. And thank you, Katie, says Kevin. Currently now 35 minutes into this game. Still 14-14. One try apiece. Thomas Francis, the big tight head prop, scoring for Wales. And then for Scotland, it was Darcy Graham, the man who's out on the wing for this one. It looks like Thomas Francis at the moment, and also Wyn Jones. A little bit of wear and tear on the faces after a very physical first half between these two sides. A pink LG KP 500 cookie. Gareth, I feel like Gareth is really putting in a shift at the moment, trying to work out which phone this one was. As well, which is very, very good detective work, Gareth. Definitely if you found it. And by the way, what's happening with the Sharks and Bulls, Hamish? So it says, Aiden, I think they haven't quite started yet, have they? If I'm not wrong, I don't think that game has got underway. I think it is starting at 4. So it's coming up very soon. It's going to be now no clear release. Although it's actually just a clean turnover from Tame Basham. Didn't even need the penalty. Now, Thomas Francis, currently 3.5 minutes left. Dan Bigger puts the kick up. And looks like it is just going to be an awkward bouncy one. Stuart Hogg takes it nicely just outside of his 22. Does kick it back down the middle of the field. Bigger. Oh, it's Williams who's actually already had a 50-22 so far. And this match puts up the kick. He's normally very good under the high ball. Doesn't quite get that one clean though. Bounces back onto the side of Wales. They've got this one on the halfway line. And Adam Baird using the back line. Dan Bigger now skip pass out to the young man. Morgan. It looked like it was a little bit high. Maybe around the chest of that man. Bigger now firing it back once again. I'm scratching my eye, which is always unfortunate. I think I got an eyelash in it. Currently now, still, no, it's turned over. And it's a good turnover now. 2.5 minutes left in this first half. Going back now, Stuart Hogg plays first receiver, gives it off to Chris Harris. One of his first carries of this match. It's a good tackle on him, though, by Owen Watkin. Now turn back over. No, it's a penalty. Wyn Jones just puts up the kick like he was possibly looking for the opportunity of a bomb later on in this match. But it's a great game from both sides. Loving it, which will raise my energy levels for our big game in Paris. So, yeah, that's going to be an awesome game. And that's the thing. If it's anything like this one and as close as this one, There's going to be a lot of people on the edge of their seats. My four tuna fish as well. I got the players, but have Everett as coach as well. Another yawn from myself. All of a sudden, the Fanta, I think, has well and truly worn off. For myself, my eyes are looking very bloodshot, which is always unfortunate. I do sleep, I swear. And they're about to start in Pretoria. Yes, I'm tipping the Bulls here. The Sharks seem to go through the rougher period as well. The Bulls should be able to capitalise on it. As on there says, the Sharks seem to be going through a rougher period, so the Bulls should be able to capitalise on it. And what is happening in New Zealand these few days was people unhappy with Government Hamish. I don't really know much about the political side of things because I normally sleep during the day and live stream during the night. So I don't actually know. I was told today that apparently a cyclone's coming. I didn't realise up till this point. So, I mean, it's one of those ones that, like, it would be, I don't know. I feel like people get annoyed with everything, and nowadays it's going to be Chris Harris now offloading it back to Sione Tuipulotu. Was it a little knock on? No, it did actually bounce back off the foot. So it is going to be all right. Wide cut out pass out to Stuart Hogg. He's got Duan Whanamura with him. Steps nicely on the inside Hogg here. 1 minute left of this first half, and it seems like Scotland have got one more attack and manoeuvre. And then for this one, it's actually the number 19 out there. I believe that was for Matt Fagerson. Did go off a little bit earlier on, so it is Bradbury who has replaced him. Wide cut out pass not working out for Scotland. It went backwards though. Or did it? No, it didn't. It was a knock on from Chris Harris, and also howdy partner as well. And then also Scott's playing well, says Oldie. They are indeed very close game between these two sides. We will be looking at stats at halftime as well, afternoon kind of looking forward to the game as well. And what a score OMG, yeah, 14-all at this point of the game. Seems like neither side willing to take that backward step, which is always exciting. Seeing the Six Nations, Scotland the Brave. What are you doing? Please, the sheep in the valleys, we must be thinking if them. As ours is more there. Wow, are we talking about Scotland or Wales? Because I know both have a fondness for sheep, and so do us Kiwis. You know, we've got quite a few sheep around. Some people take it further than others for their sheep. You know, some people keep them in their living rooms if they have to. I wouldn't do that, although we got my cat over there. He's just sleeping on a chair. He's happy enough. And also we have got there, Hamish doesn't sound like a Safi anymore, says Peter Schmeichel. Have I lost my South African accent? I know right at the start, was it a South African game that I was covering? That I had a couple of people saying I did sound like a South African. I heard that the protesters won. I'm not sure what was decided as us is so thin. So I have no idea what's going on. But when I heard that the Rangitata Bridge is flooded, which is something else that I did hear today, or there was a warning that it was going to be flooding, and then they took the warning away because it did flood, or something along those lines. But really, with Munster after the past week, Razor Robertson has rolled himself out due to bad timing. And then lose to Glasgow as well. And who are you supporting? Says Warzone Kid. At this stage, luckily I'm from New Zealand, so I'm completely impartial in this game, which does mean it's going to be a very exciting second half to get to see. And either way, we're going to get to see some very good rugby between these two sides. And also, Lol Crusaders lost both warm-up games, but are still the favourites to win the Super Rugby tournament. That's the thing. Pre-season is one thing. The actual competition is another. They didn't have a few of their players that they would like to have. I believe none of the All Blacks played in pre-season. And the Crusaders are based of about maybe 30% of the All Blacks. So it's going to be interesting when they do come back and how well they do click in their first game up against the Highlanders. I believe they play first, but I could be wrong. Oh, stop playing games, you hit and you hold, is what Nick Berry has just informed two front rowers. I think they're just teasing each other a little bit. And how is it possible that the Crusaders lost both warm-up games and still the favourites to win the Super Rugby tournament, I should say? I think it is the same as what I just mentioned about the fact that they didn't have a few of their players, but they are still, at the end of the day, they've always made it to finals other than Super Rugby Trans-Tasman last year. Every other year since Razor has been there, they have made it to a final. I've seen the Warriors versus Munster highlights as well. Hard-fought contest despite the low score. Don't worry, Munster will pull through, surely. As I said, Sebastian, and also it's not this, but a visual clue, Sony Ericsson P1i. As I says, Gareth, and also exactly the Wales, they taken the sheep deep in the homes and valleys. We must be concerned for them if Wales going to win. As I says, more there. I guess. I think the sheep would be treated quite well, cakes and all, if they were able to get the win. That's the thing. My cat, he's getting close to his birthday. I want to get him a cake, but I feel like the best cake to get him is probably just give him a piece of chicken. They kick that one into touch there for Wales, and we will go into halftime. 14-14 here between the two sides. A very close one indeed. And Scotland has scored 2 penalties, and you are waffling on about something else As well, says Kenneth there. For myself, yeah, probably. I do end up getting distracted very quickly. Now, they did also get themselves they got themselves the try of Darcy Graham very early on because the Crusaders are exceptional. As on there, says David the Mod, and also, the first game is next Saturday against the Highlanders. So that will be a very exciting one. See who does end up getting the win for that one. But now we look at some stats to do with this match. And at this current stage of it being 14 all, there's some interesting stats for this matchup looking through them, because at the end of the day, neither side have really looked dominant, which is why the second half will be so exciting. Dan Bigger, he had a misconversion early on in the match, and also Finn Russell has had an early conversion that he did end up missing. So that could be maybe the difference in the later stages. Looking through quickly at a few of the stats that we have got. Come on, it's not going to behave itself. There we go. We have got the stats up now, and Scotland can count themselves lucky not to have a couple of yellows as well, says Canvas Beard there. And Tino Tuna upside down, or turned upside down with a candle. So it says Gareth, sounds like a nice little party. He's just chilling at the moment, just well and truly out to it like I like. But 52% in favour of Scotland for the possession, 51% territory, so almost completely 50-50. Metres carried, 241 for Scotland, 238 as well for Wales. So it's about as close as you can get for those stats. 3 penalties apiece, 1 try apiece. Game line carries at the moment are a little bit more in favour of Scotland. Also, the clean breaks, they've had a couple more, and Crusaders are playing Hurricanes first. Oh, do they have Hurricanes first? No month for that season. And who else we got? I know that Chiefs. Oh, no, sorry. That's actually correct, isn't it? Because the Chiefs, they were playing Moana Pacifica in the warm-up, but they actually have the Highlanders in their first game, aren't they? Or am I wrong for that one? I could be wrong. I often am. And also Scotland have been practicing hard as well. And also you would have not seen much, mate. As I'm amazed you willed yourself to see them at all. As on Scotland to take this hands down in great commentary. And at SCS, but appreciate you, mate. And we have got plenty more coming for the Six Nations. Tackles made, 79 made at the moment by Scotland. 7 missed tackles. And then 73 tackles attempted by Wales. 13 missed tackles. So we're in for a close game. By the looks of it, like all of the stats are pretty much relatively identical. Bulls versus Sharks has just kicked off. As for anyone wondering about that game, what we will be doing though is we will be going Spark Sport, and I will get that one up on my other screen so you can see it. Just curious who's in the Fijian draw team as well. Oh, I mean, I can try and pronounce them, but you will end up probably having to kind of put the letters together yourself because of the fact that my Fijian pronunciations at this point in time are not good as well. Are they actually not showing? One moment. I just got to see whether or not they're showing Sharks versus Stormers on New Zealand. Yeah, they are. Bulls versus Sharks. Sorry. And cheers, Hamish. Off to Guru to listen to Pilchards and the Cow. Pilchards and the Cow. I have no idea what that is, Morse, but I hope you do have a good time. And Hog got away with murder early on. As I was just kind of going in, that would have been the one that he did deliberately, or they did say it was the knock on, but it was close to a deliberate knockdown. I assume it was right. We will read out some of the Fijian Rua players' names. And I mean, I can say the ones that I actually know. So I feel like they will be the ones that I won't completely mispronounce. Right. Fijian Rua, who they got? They have got Mele Derialangi, and also they have got their Titi Tela. Penny Matawalu, then also Kalioni Nasako, Siru Vularika, then Onisi Ratavi, and then Napoleoni Balatha. Those are probably the main ones that I can almost pronounce. And also, let's go Sharks, make me 2,300, boys. As a Welsh fan, the more I see Bigger, the more I dislike him as well. The amount of overlaps he wastes is hilarious, says Taffy Ducks. The worst thing is, he hasn't had a terrible game so far in this matchup, but then there's also been moments where you could say that he hasn't quite been able to get the ball away that he needed to. Hamish, it was good to see George. He's throwing down by the looks of it as well. Good for him, says David the Mod. I'm not sure. I think he is a little bit. I think he has been doing a little bit more exercising and whatnot. Although we did last week, we went a little bit crazy with takeaways. We got pizza one day. We then had burgers the next day, and then we got pizza again. But that was because it was raining and we had nothing else to do other than film videos and edit. So we had one bad, we had like a cheat week, but other than that, I think we've been not too bad with our healthiness-ish. You know, we're always working on it, seeing whether or not we can find new ways of getting energy rather than just completely sculling sugary beverages. And also, yes, it was great to see George. We miss him. And we are hopefully going to be able to do a lot more videos in the future with him as well. We've actually got the Kiwi Lads Gaming. A few more videos coming out on that channel very soon, including a couple more FIFA ones, I believe will be the first step for that one. And who knows, maybe we can get him on for a couple live streams for Super Rugby as well. And in the near future would be a nice sight. Currently, they're showing Crusaders versus Highlanders highlights from a little while ago. But currently, the stats for this one, like I mentioned, almost 50-50. Good on you as well. Says David the Modern. How's your week been and your cooking been going? Yeah, there says Aiden and also Katie. Look at that Sony Ericsson P1i just for a visual refresh. So it says Gareth there. So trying to get the visual memories sorted out. My cat, I thought he was getting up, but he's like, yeah, nah, I'm staying right here for a little bit longer. But currently, one try score for both of these sides. Thomas Francis scoring the try for Wales, and then Scotland's try scorer, it was Darcy Graham, was able to pick up the try in the 12th minute. That was the first try of the match, the only try for Scotland that they have scored so far. And an interesting stat is these two sides actually only got one try last week as well. So they'll be trying to work their way towards maybe extending that a little bit more. What we're going to do is we're going to quickly have a look at a little bit more of the information on this one. What else we got? Last 5 games as well. No, that's not what we want. Top scorers at the moment in the competition. I have actually got that information for you guys. Marcus Smith leading at the moment. Gavin Villiers sitting there. And then also Melvin Jamanier also up there. But France at the moment sitting on top of the table. They'll want to keep on going. We have got there Hamish. Is he still going to try the 100 Nuggets challenge as well? I believe we are. We are just waiting until Isaac comes down because we do want to do it with him as Mr. Live Gaming. Hilarious and a good excuse for rum and coke during the middle of the week. So it says David the Mog. Yeah, hopefully we can get those up and running very soon as well. Whether it is on GTA or maybe it's a different game that we do a little bit of live on. We've got another game we have played that I have almost finished editing that I don't know how it's going to go in terms of how much censoring and everything that I'm going to have to do on it, but hopefully it does end up going smoothly enough. It's actually me, Isaac, and George, and then also in another one, it's me, Isaac, George, and Daniel that we have got for a video. Also, I love a good mystery OCD, maybe. So on there says it was Gareth. Also, I think this pink LG cookie was my phone. The more I look at the screen, the more I remember the icons. And so it says Katie Dixon. There's a man upside down at the moment for the Six Nations. Oh, sorry, that's actually for Super Rugby. One of the old ones, Shannon Frizzell, getting himself a card. Interesting. Unlucky for that one. But currently now, we will be sitting with another 40 minutes left of this game. The next game that we are going to be covering, it will be France taking on Ireland in what should be a very exciting contest. This is the current Six Nations table, the way it is sitting. France and Ireland, the top of the table clash, will be coming up very soon. If Scotland win this game, they are still well and truly on for being able to go through and win the Six Nations, but they need to make sure they get this win. Same with Wales. This is a must-win performance from them. They need a better points differential, but that will come over time as long as they just concentrate, first of all, on getting the win. Their game next week, it's not going to be an easy one. It's going to be at Twickenham, and England will be challenging them, but it's not actually next week. Sorry, it is going to be in 15 days' time that one will be taking place. So 2 weeks from now, we will get to see that game take place alongside Scotland versus France and Ireland versus Italy, and what should be a very exciting contest as well. That's the way that Wales are sitting in terms of the games that they have got. They've got Italy last, and I'm getting emotional. It's also says Katie Dixon, and also we have got there. That's not good. I'm just happy you're safe. That's good. And what's up, David? How have you been going? As I've not been doing as much cooking as I want to, brother. We had bad winter storms around town also, and it plugged in at the top. Yep, that's my phone. As you getting emotional. You're never emotional, Katie. Are you okay? And you did it. You found it, says Gareth. Also, he says Katie to Gareth. And what Gareth, he will be hoping for a pay rise at this point in time. His detective skills just absolutely through the roof. Scotland, their next game that they have got, it is going to be up against France, and that is actually in 21 days' time, but that will be 15 days' time. I think it's just that I took the screenshot a week later because it is February 27th, so that is going to be in the 14 days' time or so for that next game. Then it is up against Italy, and then finishing it out with Ireland, which should be an exciting game at the Aviva, if that is where they will be taking place for that last game. And also we have got there Gareth Fell, my old phone, and also just the usual, mate. Hope you're well. And there is says Katie Dixon, but currently looking through at the benches for these two sides. Now, we did actually see an early change made by Scotland, and I believe it was Bradbury had to go out on the field. That was for Matt Ferguson. Did end up pulling up a little bit lame with a leg injury. I believe it was the right leg that was giving him a little bit of trouble. But also on the bench for Scotland, George Turner, Rory Sutherland, Xander Ferguson. They have got Magnus Bradbury, who has already made his way out onto the field. Rory Darge on the bench as well. Ben White, the try scorer from last week. And then Blair Kinghorn and Cameron Redpath as the other man for Scotland. Looking through at Wales, they've got Dewey Lake, Gareth Thomas, Dylan Lewis, Seb Davis. Then it will be Aaron Wainwright, I should say. Gareth Davis, and then Callum Sheedy and Jonathan Davies going to be off the bench for this one. And he'll be an exciting player to see at around 2010. Scotland try and not even mention as well. And there says Kenneth, around 2610, Scotland try. And there says Kenneth, wait, the Scotland try, which one we talking? Around 2610. Are we talking about the Scotland try that happened at 12 minutes? Kenneth, do let me know. And I say, yes, David, I've been good. Just chilling, really. And also, that's awesome. I miss my old LG phone. That used to be my favorite phone, like when I was younger as well, and how the Sharks scored. I have the Sharks scored a try yet. I will quickly have a look at this one. Currently, if I click to live, there is no scoreboard at the moment on the game. It looks like the sun's out, though. Maybe they're still having technical difficulties with the URC overall, because I do not have a scoreboard for that game. But I will trust my phone to let me know. No, they haven't had a try yet. And that one, but Jane and Hendrick say he is playing at number 9. I do see, but currently the number 9's Ali Price. He's been doing quite nicely for himself, and also has actually been, I believe, Thomas Williams. He's been very busy out there for Wales. Both sides going for about 10 phases in a row multiple times throughout this first half as how the LG crew rise. As I says Katie Dixon, I think my first phone, what was my first phone? I think it was a Samsung Flipper, or like the one that you kind of flip up and just end up chatting away for a while. I didn't actually have any texts or anything, though, because I just like playing the games. You know, it's pretty stock standard. It's like I had Facebook for like 2 years when I was younger just to play games on it. You know, Farmville. What else did I play? The football one. There was a football one that I ended up playing. It's a very nice day at the moment in South Africa. And Nokia Bricks with that snake game. I remember my dad had a Nokia and it had a Kempen bowling game, which was also a very exciting one to be able to play. But do let me know, ladies and gentlemen, who will be the try scorer, the first try scorer that is of the second half. I am going to say, I will go, I don't know. Lewis Rees-Sammer, he hasn't really touched the ball yet, has he? So I will say his first touch, or one of his first touches will be it, the one that he does get. My first one was in Estatel one-touch DB as well, and the faceplate snapped on and off, and you could buy like 15 for $10 at the mall. That's all in there, says Katie Dixon. See, I feel like I missed a little bit of the time. Zammit as well, says Lake Show, so he is going to be going for the exact same man as myself, but he's a good choice. I feel like if it's not him for Wales, it will be Scotland, the one Van der Merwe, who might be able to go and get himself one as well. But now they are making their way back out onto the field, these two sides. Sitting 14 all at the moment. Both will want to get themselves some extra points in the Six Nations table, but can they do it? That's a big question. RG, that snake game, yes, but he owed the nostalgia as well. Says David the Mod, do they still have it on YouTube that if you haven't got connection, you can actually play Snake on YouTube? Was that something that they took away? Because I remember that used to be the case. You turn off the Wi-Fi on your YouTube so that little thing would start spinning, and then you could play Snake with it as well using the arrow keys. But currently, the rain is still falling at Principality Stadium. I'm seriously surprised there's no tries or scores yet in the Bulls game. I'm quite surprised that they haven't got a scoreboard at this point in time for that game. But yeah, hopefully they can sort that out in the near future as well. What we will quickly do is I can make it a little box. So I'm going to make it a little box there. And I'm going to stick it right over this part of my screen, and I can actually make it a little customized box so that it's right there so I can see it out of the corner of my eye as well, which is quite fancy. And also we have got the out of 10 out of 10. There's Katie Dixon, but it will be Wales kicking off from right to left now for the second half at Principality Stadium. The crowd will be on the edge of their seats because we may have a final minute thriller similar to what we saw between Scotland and England in our last week's one. But Darcy Graham, the one try scorer for Scotland, the one try scorer for Wales, was actually, in the end, Thomas Francis, the big tie here prop, but it's kicked off, and it's going to be retained straight away from Wales. Good start to the second half here for the men wearing the red for their home kit. Now, Dan Bigger ball on the outside goes straight out into the hands of Cuthbert. Been making plenty of meters throughout the early stages of this game. And also, I mean, someone else who needs an honourable mention in that back line. I feel like he's going to be such a key for them as well. It's probably going to be Nick Tompkins and Owen Watkins, the two men in the midfield who do have to try and link up nicely. That's going to be kicked in behind by Dan Bigger going close to the touchline. Instead, Hogg is able to claim it now, trying to counter with a big boot downfield. Taken nicely by Liam Williams. Does he go for the kick or does he go for the run? He runs it himself. Now kicking it in behind. Trying to find the touchline, doesn't quite find it, straight into the hands of Finn Russell, and now he's got to go way back and retreat for that one. Could be a 50-22, no, ball spins back infield, and Liam Williams now takes it, steps as well, fires it back across, and Thomas Williams now has to clear. So I would say that battle of kicking actually went in favour of Scotland there for that one, and yeah, Snake was like Nibbler, and no one remembers Nibbler as well, and also they don't talk about Snake. Honestly, best game ever created on the mobile games. I used to be incredibly addicted to it as well. And this is Aiden, and also we've got as opposed to to the human snakes, of which I know many as well, says David the Mod. I remember there was a game called Slither.io. Do you guys remember that game a few years ago? Hamish Watson just trying to push someone's face away, and it wasn't quite working out for him. Now Finn Russell in the pocket once again. Will be kicking this one downfield. It seems like both sides going for a real kicking game in the second half. See whether or not they can get themselves into a good attacking position for a set play, perhaps. And also, I mean, we all know a few snakes, and this says Aiden. I feel like knowing snakes is almost compulsory, isn't it? At this stage, you never quite get through a whole group as well. Hi, I'm feeling a little better about Wales this week, as well, says Black Belt Jones. That is good news. I was going to say, if you weren't, I can put up that stat that showed that they were winning the Six Nations last year as well. But, I mean, at bare minimum, I'd like to think they get themselves at least 1 point here. And I like to think Scotland, bare minimum, get themselves 1 point as well. I think this game is going to be decided within 7. It's just who is going to be able to get the better of it. Lucy Samet taking that mark there. Inside Oz 22. Did she just call him Louis? Is it Louis or Lewis? I've always heard it as Lewis, but she just called him Louis, and she is Welsh. So do I trust her, or do I go with what I've heard everywhere else and go with Lewis? It's a good question. And also, we've got the other draw, says Black Belt Jones. We've got to have a draw. 2 points apiece would be an interesting one. See how it does end up going. But Darcy Graham now trying to step his way around, dodging all the defenders. But Adam Beard, in the end, is the man who was able to grab hold of the elusive winger. Going back across, WP now dragged down nicely by the young Mac Morgan. His name's not Mac, it's Jack. And Jack Morgan, he has been going all right on debut so far for the Welsh. Unfunamura not willing to jump up for that one. Going over the ball. Does he get the penalty? No. Did end up just losing the footing a little bit. Thomas Williams now firing it back across. Trying to get a few more phases going forward here for Wales before they set up for the kick. And now it looks like Thomas Williams will be rolling a back mushroom. Has put draw as well in there. And also no draw. Let's go Scotland and the Brave. It's time to be brave and take it home, says Aiden. Now going back to Dan Bigger in the pocket. Once again, kicking the ball downfield. And like I mentioned, both sides, they seem like the kicking game now. Stuart Hogg going for the spiral punt. Kicked it out on the full, though. Got it slightly wrong. Could have been close to a 50-22 if he got it right, but just ends up kicking it a little bit too wide. And it does now mean that Wales do get the territory for this next stage of the match. My first smartphone was a Nokia slide up as well. I was addicted to Age of Empires, Asian Dynasty as well, says David the Mod there. What was one of the first games that I played? I think when I got my Nintendo DS, I think it was, I used to play the Brain Games one, and I was terrible at it. Like, I used to be all right, but I couldn't quite get my brain age to what it actually was. Like, I was always like 30 or something like that. Dan Bigger's knee is making him pain. That wasn't quite a sentence. Giving him a little bit of pain, I should say. And I'm on eBay UK shopping for a 13-year-old phone. Y'all send help as well. And nobody wants to win today, says Peter Schmeichel. And that's the thing. At this current point, with 44 minutes through this game, may just take one move. One little moment. My first phone was a brick as well. And there says Black Belt Jones. I mean, bricks do the job, you know. Like, that's the thing. People compared a Nokia to a brick. because you could throw it at a wall and it just wouldn't break. As and also we have got there, will they even have it as well? And come on, Scotland, kick it into top gear for crying out loud. Says David the Mod, and these three men might be able to do so. A whole new front row coming on the field for Scotland. George Turner, Rory Sutherland, and also Xander Fagerson all made their way out onto the field at the exact same time as well. The coach just crossing off a few of the names that he has just replaced. He has still got the option of Rory Darsh, also Ben White, Blair Kinghorn, and Cameron Redpath. Whereas I don't believe we've seen Wales make a single substitution yet, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, though. No, I don't think we have seen any subs made by Wales as of yet. So that means that they are going to be in a very good position to be able to be the fresher side in the later stages of this game now, rolling their way forward. Once again, offloading it back to Thomas Williams. Going back across, Dan Bigger goes for the very high boot, and under wet conditions, this will be tough to take. Stuart Hogg takes it nicely, though. Does get the mark. Cuthbert trying to put him under pressure, but does do nicely. We have got there. Oh, it's a try to the Sharks, I should mention as well. And also, you found it $31.47 plus $27.19 shipping. Does it still work, Katie, for that phone, or is it just looking like it? Looking like it, I guess, or is it just the phone, I should say? Kick downfield. Once again, Finn Russell claiming that one inside of the 22. It's become a little bit of a back and forth contest in terms of a game of force back. Has he got too much of that one? No, pulls up nicely. Lewis Rees-Sammet now. Have to kick this one downfield, or does he back his pace? He instead decides to run it up the field just a little bit more. Bouncing up into the hands of Stuart Hogg. Once again, looking for the kick. No, instead decides to sell the dummy, going for the little chip and chase now. Almost kicked it out on the full, but does end up rolling into touch. And now 25 meters out, it is going to be in that situation of sitting at, what was it? Sitting at, what was I saying? Yeah, 35 meters out. And the description says it's unlocked and it works as well. And then I found my specific model with the slimmer buttons on the front. And also balls of stuff. Mono Stain got a red card as well. Oh, question. Red card. Is it a 20-minute red card or a full-time red card? I think it is a full-time. And also we have got there, I hope it's actually at $50 is a lot. As that says Gareth there, definitely for a phone that I assume, you could probably still get a SIM card for it, couldn't you? Even though it probably wouldn't work effectively. I don't know. It might. It's unfortunate. Now that's going to be the rolling ball once again here for Wales. Thomas Williams goes back to Bigger. Going to be Watkin now kicking it for touch. That's out on the full. And it's going back to where he kicked it from as well. Wales colours are red and white, yet they have green socks. What's up with that? As well says Spock. Although the third colour on their kind of Welsh Rugby Union colour is actually, it's a different green though, I will say. But yeah, their third colour is actually the green, and I believe they've got some green on their flag as well. So that will be where that green kind of comes from. But it is a dark kind of camo green, isn't it? 20-minute red card I just heard as well, says Aiden. Oh, okay, so they're only going to have another little while before he does end up getting to come back out on the field. That will be very nice. And look at the flag. As I says Gareth there, and thank you so much for all your hard work you did. You found it. And the nostalgia is gripping me, and I hope your mail doesn't come through LA because the mail gets jacked there. It says David the Mod. And I was like, no, it should be good, brother. Says Katie Dixon. I mean, if someone is going, I'm just going to steal this phone from like a decade or two ago, like out of all of the things that they could be taking, like unless you get someone who just absolutely loves the like randomest like items, I feel like it should be hopefully all right. But that one's the only two. But lots of good attack and running from Scotland and doing fun and murder. Now, once again, attacking the line hard. Finn Russell getting, driven backwards and a big tackle by Tane Basham. Tui Pelotu once again going back across. I'm going to see how many sips I can take of this water without choking on it. Sione Tui Pelotu almost going through the gap. Still going Sione Tui Pelotu. He was trying to link up with Chris Harris, but just couldn't quite find their pass. Kind of crossing in terms of the pace that they were running at. Rory Sutherland, he's running at pure pace. Getting straight at the line there. Ball, is it allowed? Adam Baird. He was asking for some communication from Nick Berry. He didn't get any of it, and now he's giving away the advantage. Chris Harris trying to once again go through. He can't come back on the field. You have to replace him after 20 minutes, yeah. But they will be back to the 15, and I believe they've got Chris Smith off the bench. Could that be Staines' first red card ever? It's a good question. That's going to be close to Wales turning it over. Do they get it? No. And they have been told to let the ball come out there. Ali Price has got it back. You can hear the crowd just begging for some defence here from Wales. They're up to 10 phases once again now, Scotland, and they don't look like they will be slowing down. The ball is knocked down there. Believe it's going back for the original penalty to Scotland. And also, he's fighting with the ref as well, and could be Staines' first ever red. And also, he can't come back on the field. And also, the green grass of home, as well says black belt. And it is looking very green at the moment on this surface at Principality Stadium. I am liking the fact that both sides, they've been willing to throw everything at it. We saw a little bit of a kicking battle early on. Okay, they're having a shot here. Okay, what are we looking at in this last breakdown? Okay, I think it was Adam Beard that they are just looking at in terms of him just trying to slow down that ball a little bit. But Sione Tuipulotu was almost able to make his way straight through, just kept on going and going and going. Broke through the tackle of Liam Williams, but in the end, dragged down by, I believe it was Rowlands. Ended up taking some big head contact for that one as well. Currently, anyone who is wondering about the Sharks versus Bulls game, 16 minutes in, 7-0 to the Sharks, and they are looking dangerous. And at the early stages as well, this is straight out in front, and it will be. Now, Finn Russell does have the opportunity to kick this one. He does get it over, and the score is going to be 17 points to 14. Scotland take the lead in this matchup. It's going to be a tough game for both of these sides, though, for the last final moments. Once we do get to them, we've still got half an hour left, and it is still going to be only split by the 3 points, possibly. I mean, I'm getting the feel of Scotland versus England from last week, how it went right down to the wire. Maybe just one penalty, one run could be the difference. It's charged down there, and now Wales have got this ball just out or just inside of the 22 of Scotland, looking to counter straight away here. Thomas Williams now goes back into the hands of Big Win Jones. Now, once again, going back across. Big contact on Rowlands. Thomas Williams once again going back. And Ryan Elias, they're still making meters every time they go 40 at Wales. Even if it's just one or two, they are slowly creeping their way towards the line. It's a flat ball, very flat ball. It was too flat to go forward. And because of it now, it does mean that it is going to be Scotland who are going to be a little bit of push and shove here between the two sides, which of course is always going to happen at this point in the game when it is this close. And also saw that red in the Shark game, and Super Rugby was on yesterday. The Hurricanes beat the Crusaders, says Shane. They did indeed. Right at the last moment, they were able to score themselves their final try. I think it was Aidan Morgan, wasn't it, who was able to get that try right at the end. But it wasn't the end, actually. Ryan Elias who got the charge down, which is very impressive for him charging down the tackle or the kick of Finn Russell. My first home was a Samsung Igloo, and it was called because you could have a different color flashing for a different contact as well, says Gareth. That sounds quite fancy. Like, I know it sounds like it's probably like, and nowadays, like we have like face identification, but I feel like little things like that, like still amaze me. It's like my computer, it's got green lights, but I learned that there's actually a button on it that when I press that button, that light turns blue. I learned about it the other week and I was just mind blown. I was like, how did it do that? Like LED lights in its own right are just weird, but weird in a good way. You know, that's going down on the front row. Currently 51 minutes through this game, 29 minutes left, and then we are straight into our next game, Ireland taking on France. That's going to be a hard-hitting affair between those two sides. Several Reece and Richie Mo'unga playing next Saturday. They are not, I don't believe. I think they've still got another 3 weeks till they are allowed to play in Super Rugby just because of the rest time after the internationals, I believe it is, or something along those lines, that they have still got a little bit more time off. But Mo'unga, he will be back in week 4 of the competition, or week 3 of the competition, I believe it is. And I assume Sever Reece and Mo'unga, or sorry, not Mo'unga, Whitelock and everyone are similar for that one. I swear sometimes it actually looks like they are out there manhandling each other's family jewels as well, says Katie Dixon. The first game was 2 games, Blood and Diablo as well. He's Gareth there. That's gone down again. Okay. The front rows are just going to get a little bit of a talking to here from Nick Berry. Something's just not quite going right at scrum time. And also at the stage, no, Friday night Super Rugby for the Blues. Yeah, the game between them and Moana Pacifica postponed just for now. Hopefully we do get to see it in the future. Maybe they make it a midweek game or something like that, try and make up the time. Both sides have relatively big squads, but you want to make sure that everyone's 100% match fit for that game. So instead we will just have the two games, and also we will have a game that's in the Australian Super Rugby competition for the Friday. And I always wanted to play Diablo and never got around to it. So it says Katie Dixon. I think me and Dad played a little tiny bit of Diablo 3, but other than that, I don't think I've played any of the other games for it as well. That's the thing. If I had spare time, like as much spare time as I would like to be able to do in terms of, I want to do a Let's Play channel so that I can play Oiba games as well, and play them for long periods of time. Because I get half an hour and then I'm back into editing. And then I'll just about sit down, and then George is like, hey, you want to film something? And I'm like, yep, I'm on round. And then we end up filming for 2 hours. Although me and Dad played FIFA 20 the other day, which was quite cool. And also White fans had a good one as well. They did indeed over the, it was the women's Indian side, wasn't it? If I'm not wrong, little chip and chase here from Dan Bigger to Tompkin. Not quite able to take it. And now Stuart Hogg been able to claim it, kicks it back downfield. And once again, looking for that territory in behind Liam Williams, grabs that 115 meters out, looking like he's trying to run it back himself. Going to be tackled relatively late there. And Dan Bigger does kick the spiral punt. It's going to be an awkward bouncing one. No, instead, Finn Russell takes it on the full now, going for the little chip of mind. It's going to be an awkward rolling one. Thomas Williams just waiting for it, hoping it rolls far enough. Does end up picking it up, and it will be the goal line drop out there. As if you swallow the graphics, the first day one was great. As well, if you can swallow the graphics, the first day one was great. And rugby is a game played by gentlemen with odd-shaped balls. As on there says Black Belt Jones. The moment, goal line jab out for Wales. It was quite a late shot on Liam Williams. He pretty much got rid of the ball. And also Jones, protect the men, protect the balls, protect the men's balls. As else says Katie Dixon, a motto to live by. Drop kick attempt here from Finn Russell. Doesn't get enough of it. Probably pulling up about 10 meters short where he wanted it to. And now it's kicked into touch there. So it's an interesting choice. Or Dan Bigger, though. He's got a sore leg by the looks of it. His knee is really causing him some strife. And blood was hectic. Was Quake One Demon killing. But you could use things like voodoo dolls as well. And there says Gareth, and Liam Williams has gone down. Tell you what, if you're losing your fly half and your fullback in one go, that's not good for Wales, because all of a sudden it's going to be probably Callum Sheedy and probably Jonathan Davis, in fact, who will be the two men making their way out onto the field. So Bigger ended up hitting the knee, and then Liam Williams also having a sore knee, and Wales getting a good fiddling Alamala. And they're a terrible advert for Northern Hemisphere Rugby, says British Michael here. Although close games are always exciting. I feel like even if it's maybe not 3-3 game, it depends on the game though. And I feel like this one at the moment, it doesn't help that we've got quite a few players down. But currently in these rainy conditions, I think it's been not too bad overall. And if the New Zealand national players are missing 3 weeks, does that mean also the same for the Wallabies players, says Aiden? I don't believe so. I don't think the Wallabies players are the same. But yeah, it was the knee in the end for Liam Williams that ended up giving away after the tackle of Magnus Bradbury. But that one, and also shame. And it says Peter Schmeichel. And also we've got there, you got to protect the McNuggets. And there says Black Belt Jones. And also we've got there is in the worst case scenario, they can adopt a child, I suppose, says Sebastian. But Liam Williams, most carries in this match. He's made 14 carries so far. The next highest was 10. And maybe they need the new Manscaped 2.9 lawnmower. Geez, that was a weird way of saying lawnmower, wasn't it? Lawnmower your balls. Well, thank you for it. Bzz. As on there says David the Mod. Exactly right. I don't even know where mine ended up. I think it's in my room at the moment, my lawnmower 4.0. I know that the shirt is still over there, I think, on my shelf. Probably need to clean up my area. I did say that I was going to do it last week, and I feel like I lied because I didn't end up doing it. So that was unfortunate, but it will be done this weekend. Another tackle, mates. The only two for lots are just getting forced over the breakdown for that one now, firing it back once again. Forward pass there from Dan Bigger, I would say, but they are going to allow it just for now. Now going back to Dan Biggar, who is frustrated at the moment. He's yelling at his outside backs, which is not what you want. Ross Moriarty now once again going to the short side. Thomas Williams sells the dummy, trying to join up with Lewis Rees-Zammit. Instead now has to join the breakdown. Wyn Jones firing it back across to Adam Beard. Drops the head. Tries to make a few extra meters for the Welsh at the moment. 25 minutes left. Dan Biggar goes off. And it will be Thomas Williams once again, who is recycling that ball. Biggar sells the dummy, goes himself. And anytime he takes contact, it's going to be dangerous for O'Malley Price. Trying to get straight in that breakdown. Is it turned over by Scotland? Not quite. No, it's still going to be on the side of Wales. Good attacking run. Once again, I believe it was Tane Basham. And currently after 8 phases, I think this is the most phases we have seen in a game, like between sides that have been able to constantly hit about that 10 mark. It's going to be the short ball from Tompkins. Now off to Jack Morgan. On short side, Thomas Williams, little chip of mine. Tane Basham tries to get it. It doesn't quite sit up for him. Does he wrestle his way over the line? I don't think so. I think he's just going to be short here. But it was the original knock on. They're going back for the penalty to Wales. Let men spread their legs as well. What have I just walked in on? And also we have got there, Yes Mash Balls must adopt child as well. And also I keep mine in the ballroom as well, says Sebastian. And also it's Maddox playing for the Waratahs this year again. Jack Maddox it is. I don't know whether he's still there. I think he is, but I could be wrong. That's why I always defend men when women say start on the men spreading. When they sit, it's like ladies, they have tender organs between their legs that are constantly smashed as well. And let men spread their legs. Okay, that makes a lot more sense now that I've read the first one too. Makes perfect sense. Well, that one, but 7-0 at the moment for the Sharks in the game up against the Bulls. After 26 minutes, Dan Biggar going to be taking on the 3 points, and this will make it 17-all between these two sides if this kick does end up going over. I like they're saying a few men about to come off the bench here for Wales. Okay, back row is where they are going, so it's probably going to be either Seb Davis or Wainwright. I'd say it will be Wainwright. Oh, actually, back row. Is back row the back row of the scrum? Or back row, the back row is in the back row of the field, as in the back line? I think it's the back line, isn't it? But predicted kick success from here, 25 meters out, 90% chance that this one goes over. So I don't expect this one to be going away to the side for Dan Biggar, and he does put it straight down the middle, and the score will now be 17-all between these two sides after 57 minutes, getting closer and closer to the end of this game. No problem, though, for Dan Biggar to be able to get that kick over. And currently, that man who is dressed as a Welsh logo for the rugby, he is well and truly loving this one. It is raining at the moment, so those people dressed as flowers will be happy. They'll be able to get some photosynthesis going as soon as they get a little bit of sunlight on them. And hello, says Prague as well. Welcome into the live stream, mate. Hope you are doing well. Or Padraig, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. And oh my God, I just saw the Wales flag, guys. Oh, yeah, it's commitment, that is for sure. And if it goes down to the wire, what do you think the points difference will be? And the next one says, Aiden, I think Ireland versus France is still going to be less than 10 points. Ross Moriarty, he's going off the field, and Aaron Wainwright is the man replacing him. Yeah, less than 10 points, maybe even less than 5. No, probably less than 7, in fact, for that one. So somewhere between 5 and 10. We'll just go with that. Somewhere around that mark. Rolling it back now once again, Thomas Williams putting the ball up. It's charged down. Now Scotland have got this one on the 22. Fagerson getting a driver's way forward just a little bit further. Ali Price goes back to Hamish Watson. He will never shy away from a little bit of contact and a breakdown. Ali Price back to Russell now. They need their playmakers to really come alive here. Stuart Hogg shut down very early by Watkin. And because of it, it's the penalty to Wales. Getting over the ball. And he does end up turning it over. Stuart Hogg not wanting to give that one up. That child has got a Wales flag on the cheek. But unfortunately for him, because of the rain, it is dripping down the side of his face. But it was Stuart Hogg, and in the end, it was just a very good bit of body position in the end from Watkin, getting that ball for his side. Okay, so what's with the Welsh changing Thomas to Thomas and Tomos as well, and why it's spelled Fagerson now? And there, says Gareth, it's a good question. I always pronounce it wrong, and Porek, from what I know. Okay, so it's Porek. Okay, I do apologize, or Patrick, kind of, so it's Porek. Okay, I will remember that in the future. My buddy Lee Francis was just on TV in the crowd. What a legend as well, says Black Belt Jones. So he wasn't the one who was the child who had the tattoo, or not the tattoo. Tell you what, if children are getting tattoos, to be fair, they're vaping now, aren't they? So they probably will get a tattoo at some stage. A lot of them children. I feel like that's a weird way of putting it as well. But anyone who is new to the channel, I should mention, be sure to hit a like on this live stream and subscribe. Also, if you are keen to check out a little bit more of our content, we have got the Kiwi Lad Sport channel, which I have just put a link to. And we are trying to work our way towards that 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. So if you do want to help us out, please do, as it is very hugely appreciated as well. We have got rugby coming up on there very soon. Also, a few other gaming videos will be popping up in the near future on that channel. We want to get it back up and running, and also a vape Nash, y'all, as well. Going up, going down. And that was damn bigger, taking it in the ribs. You heard the exertion as well from that man, the ooh. And that's going to be the scrum now in favour of Scotland. We have got there now, ladies are playing the game. They must now change the name of the number 2 player. Imagine at the friends and family gathering. Carol, what are you? Yeah, I guess that is true. Although I guess Carol can just explain, as long as she mentions that she is going to be a rugby player, or she is a rugby player, I should say. Oh, yes. They have just scored another try, Aiden, as well. So the Sharks are now leading by a few more points there. And also we have got there, did you see it too? And there says Katie Dixon. Currently damn bigger. Like they're saying, he's got plenty of pain on the face. He's still out there, though, still fighting for his side. Of course, I did. And there, as says Aiden. Yeah, currently saying 30 minutes into that game, 14-0 for the Sharks. Damn biggest horoscope. I said he was in danger of injury today. Oh, goodness. As there says Katie. He's certainly been through a battle. He's still got 20 minutes left of that battle as well. Currently, the next game that we are going to be covering on the channel, it is going to be the matchup that will be taking place between Ireland and France. That is a big game. That is one that I am very excited for. This game's going to be an exciting finish as well. 17 all after 61 minutes currently in this game. Although we will have to wait and see whether or not we do get to see a winner or perhaps a draw. A draw really doesn't help either side, though. In the Six Nations, Chris Harris got to attack and run. But once again, the midfield of Watkin and also it was Tompkins. They have been sensational in this game so far for Wales. They don't really let them through. And let me guess, my Pimpy scored it as well. Says, and I believe it was in the end Mbanambi who was able to score that try for the Sharks off a rolling maul as well. They're very strong with that. But Stuart Hogg's horoscope said he wasn't communicating too well today. Oh, my goodness. As well says Katie Dixon. At the moment, I mean, I would agree with that for Dan Bigger. He was yelling at one of the men on the outside a little bit earlier on. They're showing some big contact. And in the end, I believe it was Johnny Gray. Just ended up putting that ball down. It looks like the number 16, Dewey Lake, isn't looking too far away. There is a man with a dragon on his head and his face is bright red as well. And they are singing along for the Welsh song as well while they are at it. We've got another stoppage in this game. 18 minutes left, like I mentioned, at 5:30. That will be when we are starting our next live stream that we are doing. Cornell Hendricks actually just running up the middle of the field now for the Bulls. So trying to get them back on the scoring sheet. Krobala steals it. Krobala gives away the penalty. Oh. Okay, Rory Sutherland looks like he is injured here. So that means Pierce Gorman actually has to come back out onto the field at rugby, which are consulting the Oracle Bones as well. Oh, that's because he's Scottish. So says Sebastian. I guess that's the thing. Scottish accents are quite hard to understand. And I feel like that's not a bad thing because, like, everyone's got their own unique one. But I always find that I do need to wait a little while before I have been able to kind of work out pronunciations of some of the names and also kind of what some people are saying at times as well. I feel like it's same with Argentina, it's same with everywhere around the world as well, how you kind of get used to saying the names. Fijians, for their name, I still struggle big time in terms of the pronunciations, but we're getting there. But Rory Darge is going to be out on the field now for Ali Price. And that's one. The number 20 shirt. They've got, I think they put the wrong one up because it's actually Ben White also out on the field. And I was like, did you see Staines' red card? I didn't actually see it, but I did see he was off the field for a little while. Currently now, another scrum reset. So these two sides Just sitting there, I almost fell off, my chair as well. I'm cackling as well. And also, but we all write the same. Thank goodness, as us says Black Belt. That is true. Like, that's the thing. Like, some of the pronunciations, like, if you guys saw my very first, what video was it? I think it was Moana Pacific. No, it wasn't Moana. Was it Moana? It might have been Moana Pacifica versus the Māori All Blacks, my very first live stream, and also first lineups video that I did of that game. My name pronunciation was shocking. I still say pronunciation wrong. I think it's pronunciation, isn't it? But I always say it wrong, unfortunately. But, you know, it happens sometimes. I-R-U, B-R-U, Agus, Ku. I'm Scottish as well, says Katie, now come back for Wales. Currently 63 minutes in. Going to be Nick Tompkins once again trying to pierce his way straight up the middle of the field. Doesn't work out for him, though. It's actually his first ever red. Says Aidan, not too sure. I know that someone earlier on did mention, I remember when Welsh commentary was Jones to Davis to Jones, picked up by Jones into Davis and to Shanklin. Who scores as well, says Gareth. I mean, that's the thing. Any old game that you find of, like, Wales in that game, such as Rugby World Cup, even 2011, it was like Jones, Davis, or along those lines. Who else is another very Welsh name? Don't know. What's another? Williams, if we haven't got Williams already. That's going to be a cross kick. Go into the hands. Oh, it was the youngster Mac Jones, but he is forced into touch. Is his name actually Jones? No, it's Jack Morgan. Who's Mac Jones? Who is Mac Jones? That sounds like a real name, but I don't know whose name that is. I think I combine Mackenzie Hansen and probably Wyn Jones for that one. But Jack Morgan, no space there. And it looks like Dan Bigger. Is he going off the field? No, he is still going to be staying out there for a little bit longer by the looks of it. But anyone who's new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Ryan Elias now making his way off the field, and Dewey Lake going to be out there as well. But Gareth Thomas, he's certainly a dangerous player to have come on in the later stages of the match. And I think the fitness side of it will be tested here for Scotland, because they did have to make their subs a little bit earlier on due to injury. And also you need to talk to sober Scottish people. The drunk ones don't really talk as well, says Mickey there. Because I guess, who's the best? This is going to be a weird question. So let me know. Who's better at drinking in terms of, like, who holds their liquor the best? Welsh, Irish, or Scottish? Like, who can down like 15 pints and still be able to put a sentence together? 15's quite a lot. Maybe not 15, but like a decent amount. That's going to be an advantage now to Wales for the player flopping over the top. Now Dewey Lake charging his way forward. Currently Dan Bigger once again looking for the attacking run. Goes on the inside to Lewis Reesam, but they tried that move quite a few times throughout the day. And they break their way through. Nick Tompkin once again not quite able to get there. Irish easy as well. And Irish as well, says Danny Milne and Evans Morgan. And that's a hard name as well. And it is going to be going right back for the penalty once again. And Haggis Blaster. Haggis is delicious as well. I love haggis. I know someone called Scott as well. I guess it's an interesting one. I know that there's also people who like David. Or I mean, we have David in there, but I don't think that's his real name, is it, David, if I'm not wrong? Peter Peters, all those ones. I'd say the Irish as well, says Sebastian. Yeah, Irish, they can drink quite a few. What about this one? Welsh or Scottish for second place? It's a big question. Dan Bigger now, he's going to be lining up this one. I actually fear for his kneecap here, because to kick from this far out for a man with an injured knee might not be a good idea. And if he ends up injuring it even more, he might be out for the rest of the Six Nations. Is he going off the field? Nope. He has taken the tee. 45 meters out now. Dan Bigger's willing to take this one on. So it just shows how much he wants it for his side. Wales, they want the win at Principality Stadium. They need the win. And Scottish definitely. And Scottish, says Danny Milne. And also I would be bragging about 15 hours as well in there. Says it was Thorfinn. And also slap gun Fjost. Accidental slap. As there, says Katie, and the Scots overall. Poor speakers agreed, says Kenneth there. And then I from Switzerland. Dan Bigger hits the crossbar in the post. Wales get the ball back. They've got the advantage as well. What is this advantage for? I think it is actually a knock-on advantage this stage, but the kick didn't go over, but it's put them in a brilliant attacking position. Will Rowlands now making his way forward here. For Wales, they are on hot attack, and they can sense the try line only a couple metres out in front of them. Was it a deliberate knockdown? It might have been from Ben White. Going for the corner. Does he get there? He might have. They're going to have to go upstairs for about 3 different things, the Scots, because they love, or they fine-tuned whiskey. And I love whiskey as well. And I was like, Irish, Scottish, then Welsh, says Danny. And I was like, I got a question. Is your name really Hamish? Or is it your YouTube name that you tell everyone? It's a good question. I mean, if I was to tell everyone a fake name, I think I'd go with an easier one than Hamish. Because some people don't know how to spell it. Oh, that could be a good thing, though. Maybe it is my fake name. Who knows? I'm Irish, living in Switzerland as well, says Karma Peach. So you must currently be afternoon, close to tea time, I believe, if I'm not wrong. And also, we've got that well, I'm Welsh and 4 pints and I'm anyone's, as well as his black belt. I mean, to be fair, 2 cans of Fanta and I'm pinging off the walls. Like we've seen already, like I had 2 cans of Fanta earlier on and I just got all happy that's going to be out. I believe he is going to be out for that one. And also, forgetting the Borre and Bloom, I have brandy instead of blood in their veins as well, says Gareth. And there. Okay, they're going back for the on-field penalty and agreed with Danny as well. The Irish are head and shoulders above the rest. You want to believe the carnage in London on the 18th of March as well, St. Patrick's Day. I've witnessed it and no try as well, and he had a foot in touch. As well, right, this is the question. Is it a deliberate knockdown from Finn Russell? Because it kind of looks like one. Just a little bit. Just a little bit looking like one. So I feel like this could actually end up being something else here. Did he attempt to intercept it or did he attempt to just put that ball on the ground? He needs the second arm out there. If he had a second arm out there, they would have said it's completely fine. But because he led with just the one arm, that's when trickiness comes. And they got to get Finn for that one as well. What we got, one arm out, looks bad from that angle. And it's probably going to be the case of, was it open on the outside if Finn Russell did not do that? Okay, he's not in a position to regather, is what they are saying at the moment. He pigeon winged it. He tried to intercept easy. As on there says Aidan, and also we have got there, Scottish are good at heroin? Are they? I wouldn't know. Deliberate, not forward. It's going to be a penalty and the yellow card there to Finn Russell. So that is a big moment for Scotland here. It's going to be not a penalty try, though, which is a little bit of a benefit. Did Stuart Hogg have little, like, finger gloves? Like, singular finger gloves there. I don't know whether or not that was the case. It kind of looked like it. They're going for the corner here for Wales, and now this is their opportunity. Yellow card Finn Russell for pigeon winging. As on there says Katie Dixon, but currently we have got another 13 minutes left, so they will only have him out on the field for another 3 minutes once this game ends. And he Cowan Dickey did as well. And there says Gareth, and Jonathan Davis now making his way back out onto the field. He's had an injury, I believe. Jonathan Davis, I'm about to sneeze, unfortunately. Can I mute myself before I do? Nailed it. Managed to find the button just in time. Have you seen Train Spotting, Avish? You'll see that Peter's got a point as well. I have not seen Train Spotting. I've heard of it. Who's in it? Who's in Train Spotting? I feel like I've seen some of it, maybe like a clip or so. Pigeon winging. That's a new one as well. I knew Wales would be better than last week, but I still thought Scotland would win. Now, I'm not so sure they're rolling their way forward now for Wales once again. It's an advantage to the Welsh, and this is going to be a very good attacking position. They go up for the penalty. Now, how long do they persist with going for the go for the try rather than the 3 points? And it's a bummer. The Scots didn't break away from the UK a few years back as well and sneeze stab. And there's these Black Belt Jones. And then also it's been yellow every time I've seen it in the last 2 years, says Gareth. And also, oh my God, I haven't seen that movie in years, says Katie Dixon. But now they've gone for the corner once again. Train Spotting, you've got to watch it, Hamish. And there, is it on Netflix? I feel like if it's, I mean, my parents probably have it on DVD, to be fair. We have a few DVDs. I don't know whether or not we got that DVD, but we might have that DVD, you know. Back in the day of buying DVDs, watch Wales will make a mistake and won't score as well. And Ewan McGregor and Rob Carlisle, I believe it is, isn't it? You're going to have to use this As the call, the referee has told him to use a breaking off the back. Number 16 close to the line. Now Thomas Williams firing it back. Brilliant defence from Scotland. Chris Harris trying to roll out of the way, and he has done just that. Currently, Wales, they're looking like they smell blood at the Principality Stadium. Can they get over the line and get themselves a lead? Whoa, the Scottish are only down to 14 men. Another advantage here. Someone else might be going off the field. They might be down to 13. In a very short moment, Liam Williams looking like he was going to cross-kick it till he ended up going down. I think Dan Biggar's knee is still causing him a lot of problems. But now he's going for the drop kick. He kicks it over. And they take the 3. Okay, interesting. From them there, after all of that, they decided that the drop goal was the best option. Now, I don't know whether or not I completely agree with them for that one, because you had an easy 3 points. Interesting. The commentators are saying that was a good option. I would have thought with how close it was to the post for the penalty, you would have been willing to take on even just one random attack type thing. And worst comes to worst, you go back, you take the penalty, you get the 3 anyway. But they've gone with it. They've got the lead now, which is the main thing there for Wales. And they are leading 20 points to 17. And also, if anybody breaks away from England, and also, I don't know if I can read out the rest of that. And also, drop goal as well says Katie Dixon and flipping their wings on the ball. Illegal, get them walking. As well says Katie Dixon, but now going forward once again for Wales. Currently sitting 25 metres out, 10 minutes left in this game. Ladies and gentlemen, and Ewan McGregor, or as I refer to him, Obi-Wan Kenobi. I see. I know him. I actually know him more as Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. That was a good try from Lucanio Arm. I was able to get himself one. Stuart Hogg tries to slip onto it. Actually ends up slide tackling Adam Beard, which was an interesting one. A ball on the outside. Ben White kicks it down the wing. He actually scored a try on debut. Now Liam Williams takes it inside of the 22. Hamish Watson. No, in fact, it's a different man, the number 20 on it. Thomas Williams, a little bit of a fumble. They're only a few metres out from their line at the moment here for Wales. And it looks like they will have to kick this one back downfield. Firing it back into the pocket. Dan Biggar once again kicks it. And that one has gone into touch just outside of the 22. Dan Biggar asking for a little bit more distance from Wayne Barnes. Wayne Barnes goes, nah, I am happy with where it is now. Oh. Okay, Liam Williams and also the coach of Wales were not happy with that decision to go for the drop kick from Dan Biggar. And Scots have train spotting Wales have Twin Town as well, and I'll be back as Obi-Wan Kenobi as well. And he'll be back as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Can't wait. See Sebastian. Yeah, like they're saying, was it the best choice to take the 3? It's given them the lead though, and I feel like if Wales win by 3, then it would have been the best kind of option. But if Scotland end up scoring now, could be a crucial mistake there from Wales. It's gone over the top. It's a knockdown. And that is going to be now the scrum. And Scott's heroine, Wales glue as well. Says Black Belt. And also watch the Scotland to score a try. And also, did anyone see the Boba Fett finale? Or Boba Fett? Boba Fett? Why do I sound so weird saying that? Boba Fett? Boba Fett. I feel like you got to say it with less aggression, don't you? So it actually just sound like you're going Fett as well, which doesn't quite sound right. And also, wherever they are, I won't spoil, I promise as well. And also, yes and may, I believe, can't wait either. Says it, David the Mob. But now the scrum feed 30 metres out here for Scotland. They've still got another 5 minutes of the Finn Russell yellow card. But they've got a good attacking position on the field now. Chris Harris been relatively quiet throughout this game. They've got Darcy Graham out on the wing, the one try scorer so far for Scotland. And at the early stages, all of their other points have come from penalties. Thomas Francis, the one try scorer there for Wales, and he was actually the tie prop and haven't got around to Boba Fett. I would appreciate if all spoilers, says Sebastian there. Now going to be fed in. They've still got all of their forwards, which is a benefit for Scotland, passing it off the back door in front of Merva, chucking himself straight at Jonathan Davis, and he puts down the ball. And now Wales have got this one back just outside of their 22 in possession. Dan Biggar now kicking it downfield, looking for a bit of space. Darcy Graham is back to mark up with that one currently on the halfway line, trying to make his way through. Looks like he almost broke his own ankles, I should say, in the way that he charged himself forward there. Ferguson, that's a dirty tackle there from, I believe it was the number 17. It looked like a rough one right on the lower leg region. As I said, Sharks winning 21-0. I know that the Bulls have scored one try at this point in time, so I think it's about 21-5 in this one at halftime. But currently now, going back once again, one moment, I'll have a quick look, and it will tell me halftime is 19-5 in favour of the Sharks. And as Hamish, who won the Lions and Stormers game, it was the Stormers who won it 32-10, I believe someone said that it was. Now another knock on from Scotland, just handling errors, not what they can afford. It's going to be the penalty as well against Ferguson. Forget it in the wrong place. Liam Williams fired up with that one. And currently Sione Tuipulotu, I should say, sitting on the sideline. And also Finn Russell for another 3 minutes. He is going to be off the field for this one and give us the Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Give it to us now as well. Much better performance from Wales. I'm embarrassed to say this, but it took me years to realize some things on my favorite film shows had Killian Murray in it as well, says Gareth. Oh, you're going to be disappointed in me, Gareth. I don't know who Killian Murray is. I probably have seen him before, maybe 32-10 in favour of the Stormers as well. And 32-10, well, says Carl, yeah, it was a relatively one-sided game. And all the Scottish bases as well, with the sad face, the and the as well, the mind-blown one. But currently, turnovers conceded, 5 by Scotland, 3 by Wales. Another 2.5 minutes left of that yellow card. If they can score a try now, even if they don't convert it, that could be the nail in the coffin. Will Rowlands is going off the field now, and that will be Seb Davies making his way out there to join up with his fellow headgear buddy. And Adam Baird throws him up in the air straight away and says, you be grabbing that line out, mate. Currently now it's good defence there from Scotland, able to shut that one down straight away with the rolling maul. Thomas Williams trying to pierce the gap is nailed though. And that hard tackle almost stolen by Scotland, but still going to be available for them. You've got 5 minutes left, so it's still too early. Oh, that was almost stolen by Scotland. He's been cleaned out in that position, is the comment from Nick Berry in his Australian accent. It goes back to Dan Biggar. This time he goes for the cross kick. And this will be the better option in these circumstances. It's taken nicely by Stuart Hogg, and he's a peaky blinder as well. And then also we've got there Tamura Morrison. I was born to play this role for real as well. And also, does he live in New Zealand still, or has he moved away? Says Katie Dixon. That's a very good question. I feel like I don't know much about my Star Wars, do I? Which is a little bit disappointing. I need to work on that. Now kicked a mine from Dan Biggar once again. Currently still the kicking game. Going to be well controlled by, it was Blair Kinghorn now with an attacking run, but tackled by Dan Biggar. It's got to be, oh no, he's done his knee again, Dan Biggar. So currently, really, they are playing with 14. Stuart Hogg almost going straight through. Pierre Schurman, actually the man in support for that run, which is always awesome to see when you got a big prop who's trying to make their way forward and join up with the back line. Hamish Watson just running into a group of the Welsh players, including, I believe there were at least 2 props involved in that. Adam Baird trying to get that ball going for the counter ruck, just not quite able to though. But it's good work from Ben White. Now Pierre Schurman once again trying to go straight onto the ball. They drag the man off it. Currently Wales, they seem like they are just trying to go straight in there. Oh, Hamish Watson, bit of a juggle. It went backwards though. So he is going to be all right for now. Good fend off now from Hamish Watson. Just trying to rebuild with this back line. 12 seconds left of this yellow card. It was almost a fumble. They've still got it, though, Scotland on the halfway line. I'm confident Scotland can snake the win. As on there, going through almost was the run of Dash. Going to the short side, Hamish Watson dragged down another time here that Wales have had to defend up against 10 phases in a row, straight on the ball. And he wins the penalty for his side there. I believe it was Dylan Lewis who got straight on it. Wales sitting 20-17. It's so brilliant. I love it as well. And I want to have a long, involved discussion about how he's bringing Maori culture into this Star Wars universe for spoilers, as well, says Katie Dixon. But straight on it, Dylan Lewis. You got to get that man off the ball early. And it was actually 2 big men, Pierre Schurman and also, I believe it was Bradbury trying to get him off it. He just didn't want to go anywhere. And Wayne Pavaki was happy when he saw that penalty go his way. And currently now 20 points to 17. 2 minutes left in this one, so they won't be able to stall long enough for this kick to be the end of the game. But we are getting closer and closer to the end of this matchup. The next game that is going to be taking place, England versus France. We will be covering that game on the channel as well, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are new, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, be sure to check out the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. There we have got Dan Biggar now. It looks like he is going off the field. And instead now Callum Sheedy will have to make his way out there. But that is the link to the Kiwi Lad Sport channel. Be sure to check that out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. We got plenty more content coming on that channel as well as this one. Okay. Dan Bigg is not allowed to come off the field yet, I don't believe. So I don't think he'll be taking this kick. Okay, Dan Bigg are asking, is the time on? And Nick Berry's going, I'll put the time on when you're ready to kick it. He's up a few more seconds here for Dan Bigg. He's going to have to kick it even with his injured knee, and now he is allowed to go off the field. It's a brilliant kick as well. Final moment for Dan Bigg. I was kidding, Katie. If you want to go, or if you want to go for it, as it took me forever to link the guy from Peaky Blinders or Peaky to 28 Days Later, Sunshine Batman Begins, as I'm going for Ireland win, Hamish. Says Kevin, and yeah, it should be a very exciting one. But we see Dan Bigg making his way off the field. He's had to put in a big shift out there for his side, but has he done enough? That's a big question. They've currently got 1:20 left to be able to hang on here, Wales. Currently, Scotland will get themselves a bonus point if this is the way that it does sit at the end of this game. On conflicted cries and Anakin Skywalker voice as on there. Says Katie Dixon, but Dan Bigg, he's off the field for Callum Sheedy. Nice rolling maul. Starting to open up here once again for Wales, and this will be the nail in the coffin. And not just that, that would be the bonus point taken away from the Scottish if they can get this one going over. Okay, Piyush Gorman does have to leave that rolling maul. Currently, they have been told to use it once here. Wales, less than a minute left. If they get the advantage, they'll be able to just close out this game with a penalty. It's actually stolen there by France. That's not France, that's Scotland. And they have been able to steal that one in the breakdown or in the rolling maul. I don't even know how that was possible for them. If there's a penalty to Wales, though, it would be the end of this game. Hamish Watson now only a couple metres out to one for the mover, taken off the field, and that will be for Cameron Redpath. Scotland at the moment, they'll be looking to try and win themselves a penalty. Finn Russell, short ball now. And they just need to work their way. I say they just need to. They need to go 99 metres here to make their way up the field. Far enough. Oh, they're going back for the original one. Penalty for offside. Oh, check some foul play here. So, geez, this is going to be interesting to see how this one goes. 1 minute left as well. And also Tim Morrison as well. Yeah, buddy, he lives like 10 minutes on the other side of town as well. And well done, Wales DG. And there, next time you see him, I tell him I said hi. And also, I just learned that there's a male goalkeeper with the same name as mine as well. Well, mine ends with an E as well. I was also thought my name only females had as well, with mind blown from Novmum. Do you know what country he's from? Novmum, do let me know. Oh, there was no arm wrap there from Tane Basham. He might be off the field here for the last little bit of this game. This one's not over, ladies and gentlemen. We've still got a little bit more time. Okay, he's lucky that arm was going around the back, but it was still a shoulder to the head, so it's going to be a penalty to Scotland here. He does turn into it a little bit, gives him a little bit of that, which is what you probably don't want to be doing at 79 minutes into a game when you're about to win it. So they're just trying to work out where the point of contact was between those two. And if it is going to be high, it is going to be at least a penalty here. Not high force. Okay, I think this is just going to be a penalty. Yugoslavia as well. Says no one. There you go. And also Darcy Graham, 90-metre try, come on. And there says Gareth. Head contact. Okay, just a penalty for that one, but it is a penalty nonetheless, and they would have been wanting it. There for Scotland, they would have been loving the yellow card a lot more, of course, because they would have had the extra man on the field for the last couple moments in this game. And now Scotland, they need a good kick here, but they also need to make sure this one goes out from Finn Russell. You don't want to try and risk too many metres, and that is exactly what they've done. 30 metres out now from their own line. Come on, Scotland. So says David, but currently this is going to be an intense last couple moments. This is kind of similar to what we saw between Scotland and England for their game, but currently only 3 points difference between these two sides. Scotland get the chance to draw, would they? That is the big question for this fixture. Currently now trying to get the rolling maul going here for Scotland. It's actually going backwards. It's gone down a little bit. Okay. It's been told to use it. They're going around the side there. Ben White finding the offload to Ferguson, now just trying to win themselves a penalty here, Wales. And if they do, they will win this game. But if Scotland do end up going through, scoring a try, they will win it. As well now, Ben White Goes back to the short side. There's still a little bit of moisture around. Good run forward there from Kinghorn. Does move himself almost up to the halfway line. Pierre Schurman just taking the big old contact. Dylan Lewis trying to get that monumental turnover like he did just a moment ago. Now going forward, Redpath going through, ball on the inside to Stuart Hogg, who does go down. Currently 40 metres out now. They've already made 50. Can they make another 50 and get over the line? Up to 7 phases once again here for the Scottish. They don't seem to be giving up the ball too easily at the moment. That one could have been the chance, though, for Adam Beard. There was a player in the way. No, it's going to be bouncing out just on the side of Scotland once again. Hamish Watson trying to go around the side. Ross Moriarty, no, in fact, it was the youngster. Wasn't able to get it. 81 minutes through this game at the moment. And we have still got just a little bit more time left in this one by the looks of it. Ben White goes back now to answer Rory Tosh. Is anyone going to be able to finish this game? We're up to 85. They have to release him once again, up to 11 phases. Ben White goes back to Finn Russell. Now, the last thing we want to see from him is a little chip in behind, giving the ball straight back to Wales. But he has not done that. He's taken the contact. Hamish Watson now running straight at Adam Beard. That was a weird way of saying it. Now going back, Grant Gilchrist. I don't think I've seen him have any carries throughout this match, so it's an interesting time for him to get to have his first one. Finn Russell goes back once again. Good attacking run from Babbury. Currently 15 phases into this one at the moment. Scotland, can they push their way over? Adam Beard making the tackle there. Scottish coach, he is on his feet at the moment. Finn Russell goes back once again. It's just defensive mindset here from Wales. Straight on the ball there for the number 19. No, doesn't get it. Now going back across to Ben White. Back across Finn Russell. This game's not going to end at this point in time. Still on the side of Scotland. 18 phases here. My cat's coming over to see me as well for the final moments. He wants to see what's happening in this game. He's wondering what I'm talking about. But Schurman now once again going down. Normally it's the best time to try and steal it is when a prop runs at the line. Ben White goes back across now. Finn Russell wider ball out to Stuart Hogg. Tries to fend. Great tackle on him though by one of the key players. It's a counter ruck from Wales, or is it? Who's got the ball? It's a penalty to Wales. And that will be the win for the Welsh there. And also, yeah, Steve hasn't been even been on 2 cents as well. And also we've got that. Hope Steve Smith is all right. Always expected to see him when we do a Scotland stream. Says Sebastian, yeah, hopefully he is all right. I know that he was on holiday a little while ago in terms of getting a little bit of time off work. So I don't know whether or not he's back into pretty much full-on work mode, perhaps. So, yeah, I always worry when people don't turn up for a little while. Like, I guess the regulars who we normally get to see for a while, and then all of a sudden when they disappear, I always worry a little bit as well. And good call, Hamish says, David the Mod. And yeah, we have got one more game a little bit later on today. France versus Ireland, and that's got me very hyped up for it. And on that note, I'm going to hit the sack as well, says Mum, so we'll see you later on for that one. And also we have got that, can you add me as a friend now on Xbox, says Henry Samuel. Have I still not done that? I feel like I thought that I may have. One moment. We will go here, but anyone who was wondering, very close game between those two sides. It is full time though. 20 points to Wales, 17 to Scotland, and what was an extremely close finish to the Six Nations once again. And also, cheers, buddy. Great commentary. Really enjoyed live chat also. And it says Blackback Jones, and we have got one more that is going to be coming up a little bit later on in the day as well. So be sure to stick around for that. It is going to be Ireland versus France, a big old matchup between the sides. I think we are friends on Xbox, Henry, if I'm not wrong. I could be wrong, though. I don't know where my friend requests actually go. So that might be my problem. Yeah, I think we are friends, possibly. And also have a good sleep system. And also, yeah, very strong stream. So pumped for the headline of the weekend as I come up next. Says Sebastian, go Ireland, and also Scotland let themselves down, says Peter Schmeichel. Although this stage, it does mean that it makes the table on the Six Nations just a little bit closer. But this next game, I'm very excited. Hope you guys are as well. But we will see you all in a little while. And also, we have got there, you have not done that yet. And you are a head to George. As on there says Henry Samuel. Was that on the FIFA one or on the other one, Henry? And it says you are offline. And there says Henry Samuel. So it didn't actually come up saying I was online for that one. And also, Welsh looking good. Says Oldie, and also Billy. And then there says Katie Nixon. Did you guys hear him meow? He wants out of the lounge. So we'll end up letting him out. So thank you for the stream, Amish, as well. It says Katie. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. And I will see you all for the next one.